Hello, everyone. Welcome to session 2 of The Lost City. I hope you enjoyed the first one. I'm about to play the second one. It's more of our exploration through the desert. So, without further ado, enjoy the second session of The Lost City.
Okay. So, Nick, you made us some beautiful notes last time. Would
I
you
did.
like to do the recap while I pour myself a cup of coffee?
Okay, so the desert was our primary enemy last session, and I get the feeling it's going to continue to be the primary enemy. So anyone takes anything that gives us better attack against the desert would be appreciated. Um, we've done 2 days of travel in the desert, including some like a good day and then a not particularly good day of trying to find stuff, ending up with an ambush from dust goblins. After their surprise round and then turn, hitting us bloody hard, we just wiped them out, which is helpful. Um, we need to keep an eye on the young couple, I think. Um, but other than that, I think things are going well. Sorry, I'm not very good at the summary thing. I think that's
Nope, that's that's
reasonable.
No,
that's
Reasonable.
yeah,
perfect. That's great.
that's
Thank you.
pretty much what happened.
Mm,
Just some minor flesh wounds.
mm.
Well, major flesh wounds.
Yeah.
Major flesh wounds easily healed.
Mm.
Yeah, the other thing I wanted to say is I did send Nick a private apology, but also I feel like I owe you a public apology for
No,
uh,
it's okay.
asking about not harming animals, and then I immediately went and started harming animals. And as I'm reading through the recap, I'm like, I'm the shittiest person in the world. So I do
No, you're not. Don't
apologize,
worry.
and
Don't worry about it.
will not happen again.
Well,
Um,
no, and
I mean,
like,
my complaint, and I've thought about this since. Sorry to talk over you there.
yeah, no,
My issue that like, I said when you asked about the red lines was specifically animal cruelty, and that wasn't strictly like that
okay.
was
So
just
if
like
we
what
fight
they did.
animals and things, you're okay with that? It's
Yeah.
just
Yes. It's just
like my hard line with torture that extends to
yes.
animals for you.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Very much
Okay.
so. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I
Yeah.
don't mind if we I prefer it if we didn't have to fight rats, for example, but
Right. Yes. I've
they're
removed all
yeah.
rats.
Good. But like I am okay with a little bit of animal peril. That's fine.
Okay. Cool. Thank you for clarifying. And still, I apologize because it was not. I don't even know what I was thinking. I would blame it on the early morning, but I had been up for hours at that point, so I can't even blame it on that. It was just me not thinking.
well, it wasn't you. It was the goblins.
Yeah, it was a goblin.
Yeah, that's right. Blame it on the goblins. I like that.
We did, and then we killed them.
And they are now
Excuse me.
ex-goblins.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy, come on in. Sorry, I'm just letting the dog out, and then we will get to start here. Okay, so I'll move us over to the map when I get it back upstairs. But you guys are continuing your travels in the desert. I believe we long rested at the end of last session. Oh no, we ended up with you
No.
guys still dealing with the goblins because you wanted to like look at the bodies and things, and we were running
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit late.
We
That's
were
where we
just like
ended.
post fight, and then we
Yes.
caught up with how the caravan dealt with everything else.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
the other thing I wanted to
Yeah.
ask was, Chang, what kind of timeline am I looking at? Like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hour? Well, we normally played 3 hours.
What? I probably don't have to go.
Oh,
I most likely
all right.
don't actually have to go. The whole dinner thing is gonna be much later.
Okay. Well, if you do, let us
Oh, that's
know,
good.
but we will play as normal then. Awesome.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so here we are back on our bring you the right map. That's the one. I called it tokens for some reason. Here we are on our desert map, and you
It's
guys.
very dark all of a sudden.
Oh, I bet I turned on dynamic lighting. I was messing around with. Yeah, it is. I was playing around with your tokens, so I turned on the dynamic lighting and I didn't turn it off. Yeah, here we are in the desert at the ambush point. You have you dragged the three dust goblins over, and you've done some recovering from your wounds. Willem is feeling much better. and the other. The camels are doing okay. They've also been captured and brought back at this point. They're injured, but their injuries, as we discussed last time, seem to be repairable. They're not badly hurt or anything, just more scared than anything else. You managed to save your caravan, and the other people mostly ran off when you guys were attacked, leaving yourselves to fend for yourselves. So you have the three goblins over here, and there was some talk of examining the bodies. Is that kind of the plan?
We looted them already after
Oh yes, you
Um,
did.
we got short swords and crossbows and the camouflage
right.
cloaks that we stitched into one
The
human-sized
cloaks.
one,
Yes, thank you for refreshing my memory. That's right.
and some
Yeah, I have a
totally,
crossbow now.
yeah, a hand crossbow, I guess.
And some bolts.
54 of them.
Okay, so is there anything else that you guys want to do here?
No, not for me.
Okay.
Perhaps we should get back on the road, in a sense.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a good idea.
I agree. Okay, so you guys.
Just before we get back on the road, I'm gonna send Quoth up to just get an overview of the area, just to make sure there's no other, like he can't
Sure.
see any other groups coming towards us.
Can you give me a perception check from Quoth, please?
Yes. What? Perception. Oh, good.
Oh dear. Oh,
We
I'm
tried.
glad to see that our rolls are consistent across
Mhm.
2 sessions of the
Mhm.
campaign.
Yeah. We tried.
Okay, yeah. So, Quoth has he flies up. He looks around. What's his passive?
His passive is 13.
Okay. Um. So I'm going to use his passive based on the fact
Okay.
that while he is actively looking, I think he would passively notice
Yeah.
what's going on around him as well. He's not seeing anything that is of particular concern. He doesn't see any other goblins or anything else. He does see. I don't even know if he would see any tracks of the goblins from here. They seem like they've been waiting to ambush for a while.
Sure.
So yeah, so he feels like it's fairly safe to continue on.
Okay. I relay that party. Seems like it's safe. Let's move on while we've got some breathing room.
Okay. So you continue on that afternoon. Day 2 afternoon. Sorry, I'm just getting myself started here. You continue on that afternoon, and let's get a roll from our Adriel to please see if you can how well you do this afternoon now that you've been turned around a little bit. You got a little bit lost. You kind of got yourselves back on track. Let's see how you do for
This
the
is
rest of the day.
survival, right?
Survival.
8.
Oh.
Okay.
I have faith that we will find the road again. I tell everyone.
Well, you found the road again at the end of before the goblins attacked. So you're back on the road, but it's sort of the road sort of disappears, and you don't think that you've lost it so much as this is an area where, the sand sort of shifts and changes, and maybe the road's been shifted away a little bit. And as you walk, you get yourself a little bit turned around, and you are going to end up camping for the night in a place off the road. It is a little bit. Again, sand's a little bit soft in this region. It's a little bit isolated. You're a little bit concerned, but you know that you're not too far off the road, but you also know you're not quite where you should be. Which is maybe keeps you safer from enemies at night because no one knows to look for you there, or is maybe a little bit
Worth a
worse.
shot,
I
yeah.
don't know.
See,
Um,
Adriel, he might know that he's not meant. I guess he's off the road, but he has faith that like he's there for a reason.
Awesome. Okay.
And that's how he feels anyway.
I love it. Turning a bad into a positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys make up camp for the night. How is and we haven't really talked about this. How are your characters to travel with? So when it comes to setting up camp, are you the kind of person that like helps, you get the tent set up, you get the bedrolls out, you do the things, or are you the kind of person that like sits around and doesn't do much? Have you guys sort of taken it on roles at this point? It's been, I mean, this is your, I guess, third night. So let's start with Willem. How are you to travel with?
Seeing as how his family's funding this, he's more taking on like not scouting, but like while everything's being set up, he's just kind of checking around to see if there's anything to notice.
Okay.
And then he'll just take care of his own bedroll again under the camel.
Awesome.
Although maybe
what
that's not such a great idea.
your choice.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right. What about Linara?
Lunara isn't exactly well suited to like physical labor and hard work. I mean, she's trying. She does as instructed. But she's not got the real initiative of, okay, we need to do this now, we need to do this now, we need to do this now.
Okay. This is gonna be an interesting group. And what about Adriel?
So Adriel will set up like his own bedroll. He prefers to sleep under the sky, but he will also, when the camels lie down, he would like kind of, cuddle with them for their body warmth at night. Because I guess he is from this area, so he knows how cold it gets. I would assuming it gets cold at night, like some deserts. Yeah,
Absolutely.
So then he would use the camels for body warmth as well, and like cuddle with them. But he would also set up a tent if he knew like windstorms were coming or something like that. Or I guess they do have the what, I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
To get inside if that happens. So I guess he would use that.
Okay.
He would try to lead a little bit by example, like this is what we should be doing right now, guys, getting our camp set up. But
So,
he
showing Linara what to do.
yeah, but he wouldn't try to tell people like what to do or anything like that.
And Willem would be taking cues from him because he knows that he's lived out here. So,
Right. Okay.
or
And
at least he seems he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I just have faith.
I love the fact that this whole campaign is now based on. I'm sure I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah, and he's also looking out. Yeah, and he's also like looking around the area to see like maybe what if there's anything that like why is he here? Like what can he do
Okay.
here?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. Okay. And what about Wei?
What? Sorry, what was the question again? I apologize because I just came back.
No worries. Just why? How is your character in terms of getting back, setting up camp, doing the things? Are you helpful around camp? Are you not helpful? Are you used to camping? Just basic character stuff.
Yeah, he's a monk from the Snowflake Mountains. He's used to the cold. He's also in the it's also in the Tethia region, so he would have traveled a little bit around there. So he's used to the hot and the cold.
Okay.
He'd be very pretty friendly.
You're probably pretty useful around camp as well. I imagine you know all the little tricks to sleeping outdoors and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Can I please get a perception check from Willem?
Oh, good.
Oh goodness. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, Willem, you have a look around. You said specifically that you're kind of looking around the desert, seeing if there's anything to notice, kind of keeping an eye on things. Um, Nothing strikes you. You don't see any more. Remember that you saw like a smoke from a fire the night before. Nothing like that. Um, you feel like while you're off the road, this maybe is a good thing. You're kind of also away from anyone and everything else, and you're feeling a little bit safer. And it doesn't seem like you're being tracked by any more dust goblins that you can see. So you're feeling pretty confident about relaxing for the night. Can I also? I think Adriel said you're still checking around the area as well. Can I also get you to do a perception check?
13.
Okay. You notice your strange couple. I should put you guys on the desert map. You notice that the couple that is traveling with you, Ain and Odin, they are they're acting a little bit odd this evening. Um, you catch them like whispering a couple of times to one another. And it's just like it's not like it seems. It doesn't seem like it's like their usual like lovey-dovey stuff. It's a little bit more like there's something serious, and they're like talking to each other fairly seriously. At one point, they seem to almost be arguing about something, but it's all in whispers, so you can't like overhear anything that is going on.
I kind
I
of
did.
look over at Lunara, and I kind of look at her bird, and I kind of look back over at the couple, like trying to hint, like, what are they saying, like over there?
Okay. I will send Quoth over again.
Okay, let's get a stealth check from Quoth, please. That's dexterity, and he
Yep.
can have advantage.
Okay, thank you. I will give him advantage.
Nice.
Hey, natural 20, he had vanish.
Okay.
Oh, no, the first one was a 6. Oh, no, 6 and a
But you had advantage,
20.
so it's a
Yeah.
22.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep, okay, I'll take that.
Does he fly up, or does he kind of like sneak along the ground? How does he choose to approach this?
I think he's probably going to fly round and then like land on a nearby like nearby whatever outcrop is
Sure.
reasonable.
Okay. So he can overhear. Can you hear through his ears at this
Yes.
point, or see through
Yes.
his eyes, or?
Yes, as long as he's within 100 feet of me, I can
Okay.
see and hear through his senses.
See and
so
hear
I'll
at
be
the same
focusing on
time?
that. I believe so. Let me just double check.
I believe it's one or the other.
It's usually one or the other, but I know Nick's stuff is a little bit different.
Oh,
You can see through the raven's eyes and hear what it hears if it's within 100 feet of you.
Awesome. Okay. So you you sort of focus in on the raven, and they are arguing, Odin and Ain, and Odin is saying, I don't know, you saw the way that they handled the goblins. I think maybe we should give it one more night. And Ain is saying, no, why the way they handled the goblins is exactly why we should do it now. We should just do it and get it done with. I don't like hanging around. The more we wait, the more they're gonna figure things out. I think they're already starting to suspect us. No, I'm sure they're not. We'll just. They can follow us out if we do it now, but if we stay around one more night, it'll be more difficult. You've seen the guide. He's helpless. He's got no idea where he's going. They'll be lost in half a day. That's what you overhear.
Okay. I basically relay what I'm hearing. Like if I've got someone standing close to me, I will basically be whispering whisper transcribing exactly what I hear.
Is anyone next to Lunara?
I mean, I would have gotten over it, so yeah, because I kind of was the one that told her to listen.
Okay, so Adriel, that information is passed on to you. I don't know, Willem and Wei, do you guys see what's going on and head over, or are you guys continuing to do your thing around camp?
Gotta continue to do my thing. Not really one for gossip.
Yeah, and my perception was pretty crap, so I probably didn't even see the raven.
I didn't even notice what. Fair.
So I would say, I guess, to Lenara, what do you think they're referring to?
I don't know whether they're planning on stealing something or just like running away. Like they're definitely up to something, and I feel like we need to confront them.
Now, or should we wait?
Good question.
To see what they're gonna do, because they could lie to us.
Yeah, grab the others, see what they think.
Okay. So yeah, I guess I would go to Willem and Wei and say, like, keep an eye out on those two. They're up to something, but we don't know what it is.
Okay, well, I'm sure that there's nothing around because I didn't see anything. Do they have their own cart?
I think
They
they have
have their
camels. Oh, sorry.
Nope.
And like, do they have a tent or?
Yeah, they've probably got a tent set up.
I'd say Lenara wants to confront them, but I think it might be also wise to wait and see what they're up to.
Are the camels like out front of the tent, or like is it like a traditional? What's the word?
I imagine that the camels would be nearby the tents. Everyone would be looking after their own animals. And so their animals would be near their tent, which is near all their stuff.
I mean, what I can do is get Quoth to keep an eye on them. He doesn't need sleep, and he can wake me with just like a bonus action.
That's a good idea.
We can just get him to watch over them as a intruder alarm, basically. Perch on their tent or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. Willem would probably be smart enough to not try to steal shit.
We can hope.
Let's. All right. One sec.
So Quoth is going to keep watch over Ain and Odin tonight.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna try to steal some shit.
What are you going to try to steal?
Is there anything on the camels, or is like, did they unload?
You want to try and steal from Ain and Odin, or from Sinkur or Stogok?
Ain and Odin.
Ain and Odin? Okay. They would have taken off the camel's saddlebags and probably thrown it in their tent. They don't have a lot of stuff. If you recall, they are like on their honeymoon. So you know that they've just got fairly lightish packs. And they would be taking those off the camels every night. You wouldn't leave the camels with all that gear on them. And it's probably just like tossed inside their tent. So are you gonna wait until like their sleep kind of idea and then see what you can like creep in and find? Cut the tent with a knife?
Yeah, that makes sense for them to put their stuff in their tent. Are we on sand or like rock?
Sand.
I might try to dig myself underneath. In a couple hours. In a couple hours.
Okay, so you're gonna wait till like sort of the camp is asleep and then try this
Yeah.
out?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything anyone wants to do until then, or can we sort of fast forward to that moment?
Yeah,
Um,
I'm good, I guess, because we have the bird watching out for us.
yeah, I'll just keep Quoth on watch.
Okay, sounds good. Oh, by the way, Strogak has a mouse now because I found this token,
Yes,
and
I saw. I noticed that on the.
it is. I saw it. And I was just
Uh.
like, that is him, and he has
Aw.
this adorable mouse. So yeah,
Aw.
so he's petting his mouse at dinner time, and then it goes into his like crawls onto his head. He sits and
Familiar
has a
for him,
smoke every
I
night.
guess.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Actually, you would know that because you're his sort of apprentice. Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of magic. He has a little bit. And the mouse is more than just a pet.
Mhm.
But it's not a full-on familiar, as in it hasn't been summoned.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And then so I made tokens so that we had names. You guys can see the names of the NPCs on
Yes.
here as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it would be easier for us all to keep track. So Ain and Odin go to sleep, as do Sinkur and Strogak, and as do the rest of the party.
Yeah.
You guys are asleep for a couple of hours when Willem wakes up. And Willem, I assume that you're keeping this from the rest of the group.
For now.
Yeah, okay.
We'll see what happens.
And so you get up in the night and you start to dig.
Well, more like just at first to like kind of look where everything is. If I
So
can
it's
see.
Yeah, it's quite easy to see because so their saddlebags have been tossed pretty carelessly into the tent, and it's not a huge tent anyway. You're not going to carry something really big and heavy with you when you're traveling across the desert, and so you can actually see when you like put something right up against a tent wall and it sort of like bulges out a little bit. And you can kind of see the
Yeah.
outline of it. You can see the saddlebags right in one corner. It's right near the door, right in one corner of the tent. And you can see them there.
Okay, I'm gonna try to go in from the side and search for papers.
Okay. So when you say go in from the side, you're gonna cut open the tent. Is that the plan?
No, like just kind of stick my hand under and try and find the
Oh, I see. Okay.
saddlebag opening, and then just try and dig around for
I understand.
papers
I was
or maps
picturing
or
in my
something like
head
that.
a tent with a floor, and you're picturing a tent without a floor. But I think a tent without a floor makes way more sense. I just grew up in Canada where they always have floors.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Um,
if it does have a floor, then yeah, I'll try and cut it open.
No, I think that totally makes sense that it would be more of a covering than an actual like fully enclosed tent. Just where I grew up, that's not how they work, so I didn't even consider that. I love that. Yeah. So you stick your hand under and you start to have a little look around. Let's call this an investigation, please.
Oh my god.
It's like, I don't even know. I don't even know how you're managing to do this. It's like you're going against the odds in the worst way.
I have the Will Wheaton dice curse. Like it's just
Well, you know what? His life will be interesting. What little there is of it.
yeah.
So you reach your hand under and you feel around in their saddlebags, and you don't find anything that feels like paper. You can feel some soft items that feel like clothes. You also find some metal items. And as you're feeling around for them, you nick your finger on one of them and you realize it's a blade. And it seems as though they have two or more very sharp blades in their possession. And I'm not talking like the eating daggers and the fighting daggers that they would be carrying with them. This is, based on what you can feel, this is a long, like, a longer dagger, and very, very sharp. But other than that, you don't find anything. To the point, it's actually a little bit weird. You don't find as many rations as you would expect to find for the length of time that you would think that they would be here.
Okay. So as soon as I nick my finger, I'm gonna pull my hand out, squeeze my hand so that there's as little blood as possible, and then just get out of there.
Okay.
I'm...
Lunara, you are notified by Quoth that this is
I was gonna
happening.
say, I would assume that would happen. Yep.
Yeah.
She's gonna just like watch over him through Quoth's eyes.
Okay, so you see Willem, sort of stick his hand under the tent and start feeling around, and then you see sort of his whole body sort of like flinch, and he pulls his hand back and sort of holds at it. Pretty obvious that he's been hurt by something. It doesn't seem to be too badly. And then Willem, do you like walk away after that? Do you do more searching? What is your plan from there?
I would leave quietly,
Okay.
if possible.
You sneak away. Yeah, I'm not gonna make you do a stealth check. I don't think it's necessary for you leaving. You creep away. Go back to your sleeping area, I assume.
Yep.
Okay, and with that, that's it for the night. Everyone can long rest, including the camels, who feel much better in the morning.
Good.
And yeah. So in the morning you wake up and everyone seems to be sort of packing up and getting ready to leave. It's at this point this has become a pretty decent routine, and it doesn't take very long for you to get everything packed up and ready to go. It is still quite early. The sun is just beginning to show. Probably it's probably even still dark when you first get up, with the idea that you can travel with as much light as possible. And that means, Adriel,
I would ask.
give us another survival check.
I would ask Lenara though if anything happened throughout the night, because I was aware
Oh,
that.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
She will relay that someone we both know decided to go and investigate their pack. It sounds like he got hurt by something he found, but I didn't see him take anything, obviously. So
So we don't really know Willem that well, right? So I would have known that he's a thief, I guess, or a. So I would keep that in mind. Like, watch out for that one as well.
I would. I would probably relay what I found to Strogak,
Okay.
as he's the one who got the money from the family. To just keep an eye on those two.
Storgak takes you fairly seriously when you tell him to keep an eye. He says, I forget what voice I was using for him, darn it. Anyway, I'll make up a new one. He says, don't you worry about it. I'm sure it'll be fine. I know we're going to be separating from the group in the next couple of days as soon as Adriel tells us that we're heading off, and then we'll be separated from them. So it's only for a couple days more that we should be all traveling together. But I will keep an eye. Thank you for the information, Willem. I appreciate that.
And I'd probably tell Lunara, because she's been working with him.
Okay. I will say, I noticed you were investigating them. Thank you for at least having a look at them. So you found some Found some blades.
A weapon of some sort, like not just regular daggers, but something sharp, and show him my hand, or show her my hand.
Hmm.
Lunar, can you make me a medicine check, please?
Yes. Normal medicine. Oh wow!
Oh shit!
This
Nice.
is where all our luck's going.
All
Lunar,
culminates to this.
you notice that there are like some. It's just a really small nick on Willem's finger, but you notice there's a couple of like almost like blackish lines that are coming from that nick.
Oh.
It looks a little bit concerning to you.
Okay. Yeah, you need to get that checked out. See the black coming out of it? Do you look closely? See the black coming out of that? That's
Oh yeah.
that shouldn't be there.
That's not good.
I'm guessing they have some. Okay, they are definitely here for no good. That says poison to me immediately.
All right. Well, this is gonna be an interesting journey.
Who was it that had? Was it Wei that had the herbalism kit?
Yeah.
Might be worth getting Wei to check on that.
All right. Yeah. I'll talk to Wei and just show him and just be like, "Is there anything you can do for this?" Well, I might as well tell you the couple has something obviously poison.
So, well, I'm gonna look. I'll look. So, well, that's not good. Yeah, I'll bring out the herbalism kit.
Okay, go ahead and make me a. Let's call it a medicine check with advantage because of your herbalism kit.
Sure.
And I'm obviously doing this as discreetly as possible.
Yes.
I'm gonna quietly whisper to Willem as Adria's still leading us, right?
Yes.
It has it still. I'm just gonna whisper to Willem. This lad's mucking about, isn't he? Leading us around in circles. As I'm applying salve, as I apply the salve.
I mean, he knows better than I, so.
Does he? Does he? Does he?
I've been here a week.
It doesn't look like that. He's taking a piss.
I mean, didn't he grow up here? I don't know. I wore dark clothing into the desert. Like, what do you want from me?
Right you are, right you are. And I'll just sort of get chew the herb a little bit and just rub it on the finger.
Yeah, so I would say with a 21, that's a. So you've seen this before. This is a poison. It tends to be fairly slow acting, which is why Willem still looks fine and everything. Is just starting to spread through his finger a little bit. Untreated, it would probably be pretty nasty. But with just the little nick and everything, you are absolutely able to draw out the poisons with your salve. And like I said, this is one you've seen before. You've got no compunctions with dealing with. You are also aware, because you rolled so highly, that this particular type of poison is one that can be placed on a blade and sort of left for a few days. Most poisons degenerate quite quickly over time, but this is one that you can place on a blade and sort of leave it there for. I mean, they could have put it on before your caravan trip started, and it would just be a poison blade, and it would probably still be active for a couple more days before the poison need to be reapplied. And you know that it is fairly common among like assassins, for example, or anyone who's plotting to murder someone, because, like I said, it's slow acting, but it gets the job done eventually, and so it's sort of used as a fail-safe. If you don't manage to stab them and kill them instantly, the poison will take them out within the next few days. So it's not one that you would apply for like hunting purposes.
Did William tell me where he got it from?
Oh yeah, yeah.
As Lunara's there, right? We're sort of all on the same wagon party.
Yeah.
More or less. I'll fully turn around, look at Lunara and say, "Well, you keep that bird on that happy couple now, yeah, love." Nasty
Yes.
business. Nasty business this is. That's it. Turn back around.
Okay.
Yeah, I will be at a. Before I was very loose and casual. Like I don't like gossip and none of that stuff. But I'm definitely Way's definitely heightened awareness now.
Okay. A little bit more concerned.
Yep, that's not good.
Adriel! Yay! So as we head off into the desert, Adriel, after a night's sleep, you've kind of been like, you let it go, and you just trust. You know you're meant to be here. It's meant to happen. And it suddenly kind of comes together in your brain, like, oh, I know what happened. Just the sand brushed away from the road. If we keep walking straight, we're gonna hit it again. And sure enough, you do. And so you get yourselves back on course, and you continue to walk deep into the desert. You're starting to get pretty far away from civilization at this point. We're on day 4, or sorry, we're on day 3. You know, you've had some decent days of walking. It's been a long haul, and you're pretty far from civilization, and it's one of those things, whichever way you look right now, all you see is sand.
Yeah.
And for those of you who haven't traveled in the desert much before, it's a little bit mind blowing. It's a very, very flat landscape. Kind of feels like the sky is about to swallow you sometimes. You know, there's these sort of like rolling dunes, but they just go on forever, and then you just have this massive sky above you.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, but it's a little bit disconcerting, which makes it that much better when you happen across a very small little oasis.
Nice.
Sort of late morning, just about the time when you're getting ready to think about camping for the
Sure.
midday break. The oasis. Sorry, yes, go ahead. As you're traveling,
Sorry,
Lunera.
As we're traveling, Lunara will have she'll keep up the routine of having Quoth like scouting, but
Okay.
with a focus on watching the couple.
Okay. Anyone else want to do anything as they travel that morning?
I imagine the herbalism kit would have bandaged my finger, like the salve.
Way, is that correct?
Definitely not. You just have a piece of herb on your. No, of course, yes.
You just got a leaf on your finger. It's fine.
That's it.
He just spit on your finger spit the leaf on your
Just
finger
wha-
and walked away.
Just what?
Rub it a bit, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, rub some dirt in it. It'll be fine.
I put some dirt in it.
So I would take some of the goblin fabric. Well, maybe not.
No,
No, you're gonna want to wash that first.
Yeah,
You're gonna
wash
want to
that.
wash that first.
Yeah.
Put it, no, boil it.
Mm.
You go to put it on your
Um,
finger, and everyone's like, "No!"
No.
Well, like trying to discreetly.
I'd like to think actually,
Sort
as you go
of.
to put it on your finger, Lunara says to you, "Do you have any interesting, terrifying, disfiguring illnesses?" And you're like, "No." Like, do you
no.
want any? Do you want some? Because that's how you get them.
All right, let's see what I've got.
Yeah, that's how you get the clap. That's how I got me. That's how I got me mate Jason back home.
That fucking accent, holy shit.
Jason. Also,
I've-
bonus points for saying mucking about.
I'm walking about. Yeah, I got a whole list of Mancunian slang up
Oh.
right now.
Oh, this is the worst and best torture.
I know.
Hey, I'm trying my best.
I'm loving it.
I've had a lot of northern comedians on repeat over the last week.
I see. I
Just
see.
watching them, absorbing the accent.
My family's from Stockton, and they all talk like that. Stockton on teas.
Mhm.
So I'll rip a piece off my clothes and use some string that I bought, and just like it's enough to cover like the hand, but enough that like just the four fingers so that I can still grip the reins of the camel.
Okay, are you trying to like hide the fact that your finger is bandaged? Is that what it is?
Yeah, and just that it's from friction. Like, yeah,
Right.
just it's from the reins. The sand getting in there, I'm not used to it.
Force
Right.
and it gets everywhere.
Blister. Odine's like, oh, blisters. Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. I got them myself a little bit here. It's hard traveling by camelback. It sounds so pleasant, but it's I don't know. It makes our anniversary more interesting.
Yeah, but they've got a
Having
built-in seat, so pretty
having
comfortable.
ridden on a camel a couple of years back, it is not fun.
No, they're not.
Oh no
comfortable.
no.
Anytime you're riding atop an animal is for days on end there's a lot of chafing.
This wasn't even riding on top of the camel. Like there were they had like side seats. You know, so
Oh
they had
yeah,
like two seats next to it, and oh god, I felt so fucking travel sick.
yeah.
Just the worst.
I can imagine. Yeah, awesome. So yeah, they seem to buy your ruse, at least seem to. Who knows?
Yeah, they're not admitting that they know, but
Yeah, exactly. And they don't, they make no comments. And you guys have a fairly successful morning of travel. It is you're going the right way. You're on the road. You actually make really good time. For once, it's starting to feel like things are going right with this journey. Other than the
Yay.
fact that you're traveling with people who have some kind of nefarious plot that you're only partly aware of. But everything else is going great. You're going the right way. Your guide has you headed the right direction. Things are moving. Storak is in a great mood today. He's trying to convince Way to sing more songs with him in the back of the wagon. Sinkor is atop his camel, and he's actually teaching Strogak some dirty limericks in Gnomish, which is Strogak doesn't speak Gnomish, so as he's horribly mispronouncing these dirty limericks, Sinker is just like crying, laughing, and it's just it's just one of those like mornings. Everyone's in a good mood and things are going well. Anything in particular anyone wants to do other than the bandaging of the fingers?
Are the young couple getting involved in the conversation, or are they keeping themselves to themselves?
They've been pretty like, we're a newly married couple, we're only into each other kind of thing. But they do interact when other people are nearby. They're not rude or anything like that. And when everyone else is laughing and joking and things are starting to get silly, they join in a little bit. Not a whole heap, but enough that it's not weird.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so we will. So you guys rest for your morning rest or your midday rest, I guess. It's brutally hot today. It gets really, really hot. And you actually decide, because you've traveled so well in the morning, just to take one more hour before you leave. So you get a little bit of a longer rest. and just try and avoid that really bad heat. And maybe you're talking about maybe we'll go like a little bit longer tonight, to kind of make up for it. But it's just doesn't seem realistic to travel. You do, because you're stopped by this oasis. You are able to replenish. I say oasis. It's more like there's a little tiny area where water is bubbling out of the ground, but it's enough to refill water bottles, give the camels a good long drink, and it seems to be, this is a very common place where people stop to and from. You see some little remains of dung fires, and some remains of just bits of garbage and things that have been left by people, as you've stopped. And Adriel, you're particularly glad that you managed to find the road today to get back to this oasis, because this is the last oasis that you guys are going to hit before you go off into the desert proper to look for the lost city. Whereas the other ones, there's other sort of on this route. There's another oasis on the way that takes you out through to the other side of the desert. So the others will hit another one, but this is the last one that you know of that you're going to hit. It's not the beautiful desert oasis that you kind of think of when you think of them. It's literally like a little muddy pit. But it is exactly what you need. Water is so very important in the desert, and is such a high commodity. So it is, even though it is a little muddy pit, it is as beautiful as the drawings with the palm trees and all that nonsense. So that afternoon you head off a little bit later than planned, but it is at least starting to cool down a little bit. You're not so uncomfortable. You probably didn't have a great rest. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, thing that occurs to me. Willem, you talked to Sinker and discovered that you could talk to him in Thieves' Cant, didn't you? Is that something you would have told the rest of us? Because
not
he might have been...
initially.
Okay, because if I had known about it, I would have suggested cluing him in about the couple as well, just to, because he might be a useful ally.
I was thinking about doing that, but I don't know if I trust him fully.
Fair.
Because he knows Thieves' Cant.
Reasonable.
Yeah, definitely.
But even though it's like a muddy pit, basically, Willem's just diving right in and then walking out.
Yeah, I'm filling my glass jugs and everything.
Yeah, so Willem, you splash yourself. It's not big enough for you to like dive into it. Like I'm literally talking like a little hole bubbling out. But like you take it and you like splash it on your face, and like it feels so good. It's warm, unsurprisingly, but it is it just feels wonderful and clean and fresh. And you take a big gulp of it, and it's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm also going to rip off another part of my clothing, soak it, and then put it around my neck.
Awesome. It stays wet for exactly 3 seconds before it is completely dry in this hot summer sun.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I tried.
It was worth a try, yeah.
Adriel, you fill up all your jugs, and you know the tricks to sort of get as little sand as possible into your jugs from as you're scooping in the water. And you get some more fresh water for you and for the rest of the group. Everyone fills their canisters and canteens. Anything else you want to do before we head off this afternoon?
Do we have a small bucket by any chance?
Sure, I don't see why not. I think it's something that an archaeologist would have in his gear.
I'll scoop up some water and dip my feet in them because it's hot.
Awesome. It's lovely. You scoop up some water. You dip your feet in that, and it feels great. It just feels so good. You've been, your feet have been inside these boots that you need to walk on the sand with, and now like it's just like they're free, and you feel a million times cooler. It's awesome. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, nothing I can think of.
So we move on to the afternoon, which means, drumroll please,
Woohoo!
Adriel, survival check.
What?
14.
Hey, that's not too bad.
Okay, a successful day's travel, all in all. Adriel, you are able to keep the group on the road. This part of it, why are you looking cardboard, you weird dog? Sorry. I have a box of books sitting next to me, and my puppy is licking the cardboard.
Oh,
Like the taste.
Yeah, yeah.
Such a weirdo. Um, sorry, easily distracted. So you are able to get them on the road, and this particular portion of the road, because it's so near the Oasis, is very, very well traveled. It's quite easy to see where you're going, and you guys get uh, a really good day's travel under your belt. You travel a little bit later into the night to kind of make up for the fact that it was so hot today, and you know the it doesn't get super cold until a bit later, so you travel a little bit longer. You end up setting up camp in the dark, but nothing really of note happens in the afternoon. I know, Lunar, you have Odin sort of circling overhead, and
Yep.
Odin doesn't see anything of concern. There's no.
Quoth, but
Sorry,
yes.
quoth Odin. Uh, Quoth doesn't see anything of concern. Quoth is there's no smoke from fires, there's no tracks, there's nothing like that. There is another caravan, and it just seems to be two people that Quoth sees way off in the distance traveling, but not to the. You're probably not going to meet them today. That's probably going to be tomorrow when you meet up with them. Willem is keeping his eye on the couple. Why don't you give me an insight check, please, Willem?
For
Sorry, I didn't
fuck's
mean to type in
sakes.
all your ears.
Yeah.
You're just oh, Willem. Um, they are acting much as they have been. Like I said, that morning they kind of loosened up a little bit, and got in with the joviality as the limericks were being said. Um, Ain even offered a limerick of his own that was quite rude. And other than that, they're acting very much like a happily married couple. Um, again,
I-
you still notice what you've noticed before, whereas when eyes aren't on them, they're not as coupley. Um,
Okay.
but nothing. There's no change in the behavior. Let's put it that way that you notice.
All right.
And that night, you settle down to camp. You make up camp. Things go as they did the night before. Is there anything special anyone wants to do this evening?
Adriel would talk to Lenara and say, "Did your familiars see anything today about them?"
They seem to be acting as normal as we've seen so far. To be honest, I'm gonna keep an eye on them again tonight. Do exactly the same. Just watch over their tent. They are clearly up to something. I'm gonna find out.
Do you want?
Oh, we-
Do you think it's? Do you still have? How do I say this? Are you still interested in confronting them? I don't know what to do now.
I want them to make an outwardly suspicious move first.
Okay.
Like I want something. I want something we can use before we confront them. Because otherwise, what do we have at the moment? Like, we searched them when I don't know if we should have done, and they have poisoned weapons. Okay, but they could be doing anything with those. They've been
Yeah.
acting strangely, but then we're in a desert. What do you expect?
Okay, I agree. Let's keep an eye out.
Yeah, I'm a keep close watching them.
Okay.
And if I have to blast them, then I'm gonna start blasting.
Alrighty. So that night, you guys sort of keep yourselves ready. Waiting to see what happens. The evening, you don't notice any particularly strange behavior from anyone. Everyone gets. you have dinner together as a group, and then one by one people start going to bed. Ain and Odin go at the usual time, or what has become their usual time, and nothing seems to be strange until
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of the night. Well, I guess middle of the night. Um, Quoth wakes you up, Lunara,
Okay.
and just sort of there's movement going on in their tent.
Okay.
Oh, hello.
I wanted to
Uh,
say,
oh, whoa.
Not
Whoa,
that
whoa,
kind
whoa.
of movement.
I mean, they are newlyweds.
I know.
I mean,
Talk about honeymoon.
okay. I'm obviously she wakes up. Gonna wake the others, and then like go
So,
out of my
okay.
tent to.
So here's my question: when you say you're gonna wake the others, do you go around shaking people, or are you doing it in a more subtle way? Like, how are you?
Probably doing it in a more subtle way, so like more like shoulder tapping and like keeping a hand like close to their mouth, so that if they yell or something, I can like, shh, 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 we good, we good.
Okay,
But-
so
I'll probably
ahead.
like have arranged with them to like, this is what I'll do
if something starts to happen.
if something starts to happen. Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a stealth check with advantage, please.
Okay. Dale.
Dale.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Dale.
Yeah, Lunara, you sneak. You wake up. It looks like you're dressed mostly in black, so that works out quite.
Yeah, I mean she's
conveniently.
a shadow elf, is what she does.
And you slip around and just very subtly sort of like tap people on the shoulder enough to wake them up, and there is. Let me see. Oh, there's very little noise going on from within the tent, but you can, as you're waking up the last person, who is, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Okay, you're stood next to Willem.
he pulls a dagger.
You shake Willem. Willem pulls a dagger. And as you guys are sort of like frozen in this tableau, the tent opens and Odin and Ain creep out. They are fully dressed in black, and they're sneaking. They are not speaking at all, and they are moving so silently, and so like keeping to the shadows in a manner that, like, if you didn't know already what was happening, there's no way you would have seen them. And Willem, as someone who is a thief by nature or by trade, I'm unsure. Maybe a little bit of both. This is professional work. Like they've even like dulled down any like metal or buttons or anything like that has been dulled down so that it doesn't let off a shine. Like this is professional level work, and fairly high quality professional level work. This isn't like just your average happily married couple who's all of a sudden getting up in the middle of the night.
And
I'm-
which direction are they heading? Do
They
we know?
are right now. They're just sneaking out of the tent. To give you guys a chance to react, and then I'll describe a little bit more as once you guys have sort of taken some actions. So Lunara, it sounded like you had something to say.
Yeah, I'm tempted to just get Quoth to, at the top of his little tiny lungs, scream out the poem that he came out with earlier. Just make as much fucking noise as possible to ruin their sneakiness.
Okay, do you want to do that?
Yeah, I think I will.
Okay. So Wei and Adriel, you guys have already been awakened by Lunara. Before the raven starts screaming, is there anything you guys want to do?
I'll just be at the ready in case fight is gonna go down.
Okay. Adriel? Same kind of deal?
I mean, yeah, I guess I would just be on the ready. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are watching all of this happen as all of a sudden the raven comes out with a loud, obnoxious, and extremely dirty limerick that Ain told earlier. It obviously it wakes up everyone in camp. Storgak wakes up, Sincor wakes up, Ain and Odin sort of like freeze, and then they start to make a run for it. So I'm going to describe their actions first so that you guys can kind of react to them. So they have like a split second where they realize, ah, shit. Odin throws, she's going to be throwing the saddles on the camels. She's got them in her hands. And Ain goes running over towards Sincor's tent. So
okay.
Willem,
Oh shit! I probably should have warned him.
Willem, what are you doing?
I'm grabbing my short bow and I'm taking a shot at Ain.
Okay, go ahead and make me a roll, please.
Wait,
That-
where's the attack?
Yeah, where's Evan?
There you go.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, they
15?
changed it now, so it looks like a button. I guess they decided many people were having trouble with that. That's
Oh.
interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A 15 will hit. So you, and is that 9 piercing damage?
Yeah.
Correct. Okay, awesome. Yeah. So you hit Ain for 9 points of piercing damage. You catch him sort of like in like the hammy part of his leg, and it goes through and he sort of like lets out a yell, but manages to stay on his feet. Lunara, what are you doing? Oh, by the way,
since
this
I'm-
whole time there's a raven screaming a limerick still. It's just on repeat.
Yeah. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up Quoth now and send him to just follow the girl, follow Odin.
Okay.
And then I'm going to Eldritch Blast Ain if I can get a shot from where I am. Since I was next to Willem, I figure I've got a reasonable chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's see if I can use. I'm trying the Roll20 tablet app. See if I can actually.
Oh,
see how well I
okay.
can play. So let's roll that. You can roll me. Please do send. There we go. That's not
Hey.
a good shot. That's a shame.
It is not a good shot. Yeah. So your shot, you're aiming at Odin. You said, right?
Yes. No,
So
I'm
you're-
aiming at Ain. I'm aiming
you're
at Ain.
Okay.
I'm sending Quoth to follow Odin.
Oh, right. Okay, I am with you. Quoth is following. So Quoth sort of flies over, still screaming about, there once was a man from Nantucket, and
I have asked him to stop, but whether or not he
Okay.
will is another question.
Okay. So that ends. And Quoth sort of flies over towards Odin as your Eldritch Blast goes just past Ain's ear,
Yeah.
and he's still running. Adriel.
I see him shoot his Eldritch Blast at him, so I will conjure a spark in my hand and shoot a lightning spark, which is just my revamped
Flame
firebolt.
firebolt.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I remember how to roll in. Okay.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Oh my god.
Oh no,
That's not so cool.
that's not cool.
No.
So you the Eldritch Blast, as the Eldritch Blast goes past his ear, Ain ducks down, and his ducking is what saves him as your lightning spark is right where he was, but it goes out of the way, so you can blame Lunara for that one. What about Way?
Everybody's shooting. I might as well shoot too. Why do I have 2 short bows in my fuck? So I'll shoot Ain. Everybody's shooting Ain. I'm gonna
Alright.
run up. Actually, I'm gonna run up, get a better shot. I have
Alright.
40 feet.
Yeah, you got no problem. I mean, you can get all the way to
Oh
it. if you-
god, 11. Yeah, that's not.
What? You're just on the. I'm gonna shoot him in miss train. Okay. So yeah, you fire your short bow too.
Actually, wait. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Are they like? Can I catch up to them, or are they already like taken off?
So Ain has run over to the tent of Sinkur, and Odin is saddling the camels, so they haven't left yet.
Can I get within melee range of Ain? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, because I thought they were already booking it on the camels. That's
Yeah,
why
no,
everybody
no.
was shooting. If I can get over to him with my 40 feet, I'm gonna punch the shit out of him.
Okay.
Right
Yeah.
in the back of the head.
So
Sneak attack. On my sneak attack.
14 unfortunately is gonna miss Ain. Well, it hits him, but like it just your blow glances off his. What you're realizing is actually armor that he's wearing, leather armor.
Right. Well, I believe I can make another one because of martial arts.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
With
So
my
you can make
bonus action?
another unarmed strike as your bonus action.
I'm gonna say naughty boy, naughty naughty boy.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
He's quick, and your first blow glances off of his armor. The next time around, he just knocks your hand aside. He clearly knows a little bit of combat, and with that, he reaches down and he grabs Sinkor's saddlebags, which you all know are full of a lot of gems, a lot of money's worth of gems, or at least Willem is aware of this. I don't know if the rest of you picked up on that, but Willem did. He tosses that bag over his shoulder. Odin finishes getting the saddles on the camels, and Ain runs over and starts climbing up onto the camel. Odin is already on hers at this point. Sinkor wakes up and he starts yelling, "My gems! What are you doing? My gems! Stop him! Stop him!" And Strogark is like, what's going on? What's happening? Why is everyone yelling? And we are back to Willem.
All right, well, I'm going to take another shot.
Okay, at Ain again.
Yep. Because now it's obvious that he's not working with Sinkor, so.
Oh, sorry. I also just realized that Ain ran away from Wei, who was in melee. So Wei, you should have an opportunity attack if you
Yeah.
want.
Wait. Oh my
Oh,
god. It's just progressively lower and lower and lower.
Let you suffer as I have.
By
We're all,
three, by
Alright.
three, by
we're
three.
just all caught off guard. That's all.
You're very sleepy.
Yeah, we're still sleepy.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you there, Willem. Go ahead. You were. What were you going to do? You said you were going to shoot him.
About how far away is he?
Probably 30 feet-ish.
I will move 30 feet, and no, that's not a good idea. I'll move 15 feet and try to shoot him again.
Okay. Go ahead and make me that attack roll.
Oh, for fuck's
You
sakes.
will miss. Oh dear. Yeah, this, he manages just to like move aside just in time, and it whizzes past him, and he's starting to like kick his camel to go. Lunara, you're up.
So if I get Quoth to use the help action,
Mhm.
could I get him to give me advantage on my attack roll, assuming he's like buzzing, like
Absolutely. Yep.
yeah, I'm going to do that. And then
Okay.
I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Hex.
Okay.
Let's see if I can cast this. Use to cast. There we go. Oh, that was only the description. Great, thank you.
That's fine.
spend
I
that
know what
for a
it
slot.
does. Just we can add it on if
Yeah,
it
yeah,
if it
combat.
does damage.
Sorry, question.
Yeah.
Would I have had sneak attack? On the first
you-
shot? Just because he didn't know. Well, no, he was aware of the raven, so yeah, never mind.
The very first shot you made hit. Yeah, he was unaware of you. Yes, you're right. You should have had go ahead and roll add your sneak attack damage.
2.
Okay. All right. He's looking a little bit worse for wear.
Then I am going to Eldritch Blast him with advantage, thanks to the help of Quoth.
Okay.
Come on. 11, for fuck's sake!
Yeah,
Oh, no.
Oh, these rolls, guys. Yeah, no.
The dice are just fucking us.
I was like not expecting this to be this difficult of an encounter, but you guys are rolling so poorly.
No.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
or Ains really good. He's really good.
He's just dodging and diving and ducking. And,
Yeah, exactly. He's dodging and weaving, and he flattens himself against the camel, and
I'm gonna move. I'll move closer as well, and then I'll do and call that my turn.
Okay, sounds good. Adriel.
All right, so now this is where my eyes kind of like light up. Some wind gusts around me, and I just say, "You shall not get away." And I lift off the ground like 10 feet, and I shoot a chromatic orb. The bonus action is
Cool.
called the magic where I can move. Whirling gusts of elemental air briefly surrounds me, and I shoot my chromatic orb.
Awesome. Sand whips up around with the dust.
Yeah.
It's very impressive.
Nice.
Oh, thank
Hey!
God. I was gonna say if you miss,
I know, it would have been
so
really
uncool.
bad.
Oh.
That's why I
That
yeah.
would have been the
That would have been
worst.
so lame.
You shut up.
No,
get
it's
away.
still cool to lift off the ground. Yeah. How do I roll damage? Do I click on chromatic orb?
Click
Click
on
the name,
chromatic
yep.
orb. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
14 lightning
14.
That's
Yeah.
good.
How do you
Wow.
kill him?
damage. Yeah, you just see that lightning ball come out of my hand and hit him right into the back, and he just goes down with a big spark.
Awesome. Yeah, he falls off the camel. The camel looks surprised and starts to run a little bit. Doesn't go too far. Just like I'm GTFOing. And Ain is down. Way. Oh, sorry, Adriel. You've used that was your bonus action, right? To do the
The
floaty
wind,
thing?
yeah. And
Yeah,
then my
okay,
action
so-
to cast a spell. So,
Awesome. So you're good.
yeah, I'll move closer. I'll move my 30 feet closer towards him.
Okay, so 30 feet will get you like right over top of him.
Okay.
So yeah, there's sand blowing around his dead body.
And that'll be the end of my turn.
Alrighty. Way.
So, Odine, how far away is she from me at the moment?
She's probably like 30 feet. Like you're well able to get up to her if you so desire.
Wonderful. Is she on her camel?
She is on her camel, yes.
I'm gonna run up and jump. I'm gonna run up, jump, and knee her in the back of the head.
Awesome. Go ahead and make me an unarmed strike.
Thank you. At 20,
Yay.
let's go.
All right, go ahead,
For
roll your damage. 5
5.
bludgeoning. You knee her in the back. You know what? I'm gonna have her do a little check to see if she's able to stay on the camel when you give her such a blow. Nope, she falls off. She rolled a nat 1. So you run up, you knee her in the back, and it's enough to cause her to tumble off of the camel. She falls prone onto the ground.
All right. This has a really bad look to it as I'm gonna punch a woman on the floor.
Hey, she
But,
deserves it.
Yeah, with advantage because she's prone.
Yeah.
Bonus
17
action.
is certainly a hit.
6.
Yeah, you give her, you just like
Right in the nose.
right,
Boom.
just her right in the kiss off. Yeah, you hear a crack as her nose breaks. She starts, and she sort of snarls at you, and obviously doesn't seem pleased about any of that. Anything else, Way?
I'm gonna sort of stand at, well, sort of at that pose as she tries to retaliate. As she's, I assume, going to retaliate.
Okay. So it is Odine's turn. She is going to. What is she going to do? I think she is going to disengage, use half her movement to stand up, half her movement to get back up on the camel, and then she's going to give her camel a good kick, and the camel is going to take off with the dash action, which is going to get it 120 feet away. That does give you an opportunity. No, she's disengaged.
Disengage, yeah.
So yeah, no opportunity attack. She's quick. She's quick away, and she just like slips away from you, hauls herself off onto the camel, and is just kicking the camel just off into the desert, which doesn't necessarily seem like the most sensible of choices.
No.
But that is what she is doing. Sincor at this point is he's screaming, "My gems! Oh my God, he's dead! Oh, she's getting away! Oh, what's and Strogak is saying, what's happening? Is everyone all right? I hear yelling." And he sort of like kind of gets up and stumbles out of his tent and says, "Oh my!" And Willem, we're back at you.
Did Ain put the bags on the camel, or?
He had them on his shoulders, so they are lying with his body.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still gonna shoot her, and I have sharpshooter, so not
Good shit.
Disadvantage doesn't matter.
Nice.
Awesome. Go ahead, make me a. Hey, that's what we want to see. Go ahead, roll
Very
your
nice.
damage.
Man.
That is not quite enough. You get her in the back, possibly in the same place that Wei hit her before. She's looking really wounded. She's sort of slumped over in her saddle, but she is still upright.
I should have done sharpshooter. Damn it. All right.
If you want to retcon and say you do sharpshooter, we're still learning these characters and what they can do, so I'm happy to retcon if you want to. Oh no, because you'd have to adjust your roll, right? Never mind.
It's the -5.
Yeah. I take it back. You can't retcon once you know what the roll is.
Yeah.
Lunar, do you want to do anything else? Do you want to move forward or take any bonus actions? Willem?
Oh, no, I don't think I have any bonus actions right now, because I'm level 1. So, I'll try to chase after her 30 feet.
Okay, so you run 30 feet forward. Sounds good. And Lunara?
I'm gonna kind of run up to where Wei is standing, and I assume that's about 120 feet away from what you said.
Mhm.
From her.
Mhm.
Get maybe a little bit closer, and I'm gonna try an Eldritch Blast. Eldritch Blast has a range of 120.
Has
so,
a range of 120. Awesome. Go ahead.
So it's a normal. I don't think that Quoth can catch up with her because he has a fly speed of 50.
Yeah, not
But
quite.
I am gonna get him to like chase after her, and like just try and like his orders are basically to try and keep an eye on her, just keep her in sight.
Okay, sounds good.
And then I am going to Eldritch Blast. Normal. Here we go. Let's not fuck this up.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I'm
yes.
talking about.
Ah, nice.
Oh man. Yeah. How does it happen?
A lance of shadow just like goes out across the desert, and like you can see it because it's setting like a shadow in the moonlight, and just like pierces through her back, and just like throws her off the camel into the ground.
Awesome.
Wei's gonna
Um,
flinch because I assume the sound it doesn't sound very nice either.
Yeah.
I don't know if Eldritch Blast really makes any noise, but the piercing from I mean, if you can hear it from 120 feet away, then probably it does. Then yeah, probably it wasn't particularly nice to hear, but
I mean, I don't know if the actual blast makes a blast, but it would make a blast as it ripped through her, I imagine.
Well,
yeah,
I don't mean
true,
like
yeah.
I don't mean like loud, but in terms of like it just sounds evil.
Gross. Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess it probably carried. Yeah.
Yeah,
some
I'm-
like void noise.
You're
like
also like right next to it, so
Yeah.
or like some sort of screeching, just based on how
Hmm.
you described it.
It's not evil. It's just shadow. It's just dark. You know. It's just where the sun isn't. There's nothing evil there.
just sort of sunny.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I'll look it up.
You know, I'm originally from the Shadowfell. I've got, you know, it's just how I am. It's just who I am.
Oh no judgment.
Okay, and yeah, with that, Odin is on the ground. Ain is on the ground. Sinkur's gems are safe. He comes running up to you. Oh, thank you for stopping them. That would have just absolutely would have what's the word, destroyed me. I would have lost everything. Thank you, thank you. And Storgok is, you know, like, was someone trying to steal something? What happened to him? Oh dear, that's messy. What, Lidara, what's going on?
They were trying to rob. They were trying to rob our friend here. I was
Oh.
afraid they were going for worse, but apparently it was just a gem heist.
Oh, how terrible. They seem like such a nice, happy young couple. Why would they do such a thing?
They did until they didn't think anyone was looking at them, and then they were completely different.
Really? Oh, just goes to show. People can be so deceitful. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And in Thieves' Cant, I'm gonna ask Sinker for, you know, maybe a little bit of a reward for saving your gems. I don't know.
Yeah, Sinkor is actually, he's got his bags open. He's kind of going through his inventory, and he's like, it's all here. Oh, it's all here. Thank you.
Good. I'm
Um,
glad.
I'll search
And
the.
he,
I'm sorry.
sorry, he is going to hand each of you a diamond.
Ooh.
Oh.
And that diamond, hang on. I just want to make sure I get the value of it right. Oops, it would help if I spelled it right. I think it's 100 GP. 300 GP.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Damn.
It's a 300 GP diamond.
Each of us are just
Each of you.
God damn.
Damn.
Um,
That was
he
worth
had-
it
he
for a
had-
night's work.
A fortune. He still has a fortune in gems here. And he says, and this is also so that you guys don't get any ideas, maybe. But he, no, he's truly grateful, and he tosses it to you, Willem, and he says, you've more than earned this. Thank you. You've been caravan guards as without pay this whole journey, so this is the least I can do to thank you for what you have all done. And he hands the rest of you the diamonds as well, and he says, I'm giving you these because I know that they can be useful for more than just their value, and perhaps they will aid you in your journeys and your adventures.
They might well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, in common, I'll say it is most appreciated. You didn't have to, it's appreciated.
He speaks in common with like the Thieves' Cant undercurrent, Wilhelm, and you kind of get the message for him as well. And he sort of says like, from one thief to another, as thanks for stopping a thief rather than aiding them.
I kind of like the idea with Thieves' Cant that you can be having a perfectly normal sounding conversation to the outside, and then
Exactly.
they're talking thief business underneath.
Underneath it, and that's
Yeah,
exactly
I
what's
think that's
happening
really
here.
cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
he's,
and then it's just not a problem.
awesome. Okay. Yeah, so with that little bit of excitement, I guess you guys probably want to search bodies and things, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's a
So
good
the
idea.
camels haven't gone very far. They're obviously, distressed by what happened, but not to the point that they're gonna run off into the desert. They know that is a silly and suicidal thing to do. And so you are able to collect the camels, which means that you have 2 additional camels now if you choose to
Nice.
take them with you. Otherwise, Sincor will happily take them with him and sell them at the other end of the caravan if you decide not to keep them. So you do have some options there. And yeah, you want to take a look at the bodies?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Go ahead and give me. One of you can roll investigation with advantage, because I'm assuming that like the group is helping.
Do you have any pluses on your investigation, Inara?
Mine is +4.
Okay,
so-
you can do it.
Oh yeah, that's definitely you.
Okay. Thank you
And
for
we're
the
back.
advantage. Yeah, we're back to us again.
Okay, so you had one moment of coolness where the whole party came together, and now you're back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a look at the bodies, and there's not a heap to find, which, Lunar, it kind of goes along with what Willem told you about what he found in the packs.
Yeah.
They've got, in their packs, they have clothes, and they've got enough rations for only a few days. It's very clear that they weren't planning on doing the whole route with you. Obviously, it seems like they were coming along. They were going to get you guys far enough into the desert where you couldn't come after them, rob your gnome friend, and then take off and probably go back the way they came, is what looks like they have enough rations for. So they do have a little a picture of Sincor in their pack that Wilhelm hadn't managed to find. It was kind of stuffed right at the bottom, just a drawing, but it seems as though he was definitely a pre-planned target. They are wearing studded leather armor that is black in color. They are each wearing it. So if you wish to take that, you can.
Lunara would be happy with that. I think I have the proficiency in it.
Okay, so
And
Lunara
it's
will
in her
take.
colours, so I'll take one. I'll take her
Odine's?
one. Yeah, I'll take her
If-
Odine's one.
Yeah, if no one else wants it, then I will take the other one.
I can't wear it. I thought I had it, but I don't. I forget. Source. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get the,
anything. Yeah.
All right, so I'll take that.
Okay, so Willem takes that, and the other thing that they have with them, they've got like a handful of coins. Let me just see here.
Come on, ST.
Forget how my macro works.
Studded leather armor. There we go. That.
While I look into how many handfuls of coins they have, they also have on them like eating daggers, and then I guess it would be a combination of like an eating dagger / dagger for defense. And then in one of the bags you find a particularly fine dagger. It is a little bit longer. This is probably the one that Willem cut himself on. And it has like a on the handle, there's like a snake that is wrapped around the grip bit.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
And it's a little bit longer than your average dagger, and very, very sharp. It looks like a dagger used for assassinations, as opposed to sort of like one that you would carry around normally.
If no one wants that, I'd take it.
Yeah, I've got 2 daggers, so.
Yeah, happy for you to have it.
I like daggers.
I think Way's gonna look a little. I think it's gonna be pretty subtle, but he's gonna look kind of uneasy once he sees the dagger in full.
And there's your loot. So, well, it turns out Ain had quite a bit on him. He had 11 gold pieces, a quill, and a thimble. And she only had 18 copper on her, so he was clearly the money holder of the group.
Okay, I made a note of that.
And I think this is a good place for us to take our break.
Yeah.
Okay.
So why don't we take 10 here? We'll meet back at like 10:02-ish. Couple minutes after, and
Yeah, sure.
we will pick up with the rest of our session.
Yeah, looking forward
Sounds
to it.
good.
We're back.
All right, see you in a little bit.
See ya.
Seriously, roll 20.
What's it doing now?
I can't see Seb's latest message because there we go. Now I can. Because it was like half or quarter on the screen, covered up by
Yeah.
the text box, by the
chat
chat box.
text box. It's been doing
Yeah.
that lately. They keep changing things, and
Hmm.
they keep changing things, and it's
Yeah.
making little bugs pop up here and there.
That's
Yeah,
how it
my
is for me
trouble I
too.
had-
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean,
I-
it means they're working on it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. They've made some amazing changes. Like just putting the buttons, like this literally having the buttons where the short bow is. This is new. Last time
Yeah.
I played was Monday, and it wasn't there then.
Yeah, it wasn't there when I played last weekend either. Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty neat.
so they've
What
really
buttons?
like.
Yeah. The
in-
sorry.
No, you go ahead.
The names on the thing have like a highlight to them to make them more like a button. To show you
Uh,
can roll damage.
Oh, okay.
In the chat window, yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
It just makes it because people always they're like, how do I roll damage? How do I roll damage? And just seeing that there's a button there, I think makes it a little
Yeah.
bit easier to understand that that's how you do it.
So
yeah, there's
this week
lots of
has
little
been
quality of life.
yeah,
Sorry,
this week has been fucking crazy for us. So our Rattos,
Mm-hmm.
we had to have 2 of them in for surgery on Tuesday,
oh
of
which
them.
is terrifying when you put a rat into surgery because like you flip a
Yeah.
coin as to whether or not they're going to wake up again.
Just the,
They had to have lumps removed.
Oh no.
Nothing major, relatively minor surgery, except for one of them, who that next like we got them home, and then the next evening we discover that she's chewed her stitches, so she had to go back to the same vet to have surgery again to
Oh,
get
no.
them put back in again.
Bad.
She's absolutely fine. She got through it perfectly. She's home now,
Good.
but.
Oh my god! I can't. 2 of them at the same time.
Yes.
yeah, that's. Oh, did they have the cone of shame for rats?
Yeah, I was
We
just
do
gonna
have a
ask
cone of
if-
shame, but it's kind of difficult to get it to stay on them because
know.
they're
Yeah.
sneaky little buggers.
Yeah. Well, and their heads are. Like. I
Yeah.
guess yeah. I'm
It's
trying to
really
imagine
hard to
like
get it
how
to stay
you
on
would
them.
tie it
Yeah,
on and.
They're designed
Yeah.
to go through holes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That is one way of putting it. Yep. Yeah.
Literally what they're designed for. I like that.
Yeah.
Can you get like one of those like? I know for dogs you can get like a bodysuit kind of thing.
Again, difficult to get it to stay on them,
I guess, yeah. Eh?
and to stop them from like just chewing the damn thing off again if they get annoyed with it,
Jeez.
because
Yeah,
like
'cause
they
they're
can
so-
chew
they're
through
cheap.
concrete if they want to. Like
Yeah.
there's very little to stop them.
Oh my goodness! But they're doing okay now.
Yeah, we've got them both in a hospital cage at the moment, and just keeping a close eye on them to make sure they don't do anything stupid.
Very cool.
And because, of course, rats are treated as exotic pets, because one of the most common mammals on the planet are
I was gonna
exotic.
say they're so
Apparently.
exotic.
Yeah, I think exotic Reed. We don't want to deal with them.
Ah,
They are damn expensive to have at the vets. I've spent
Imagine.
more than £1,000 on those
Holy
two
shit!
this week.
oh my god. I know. I used to deal with. I used to work with snakes, and part of what we were doing was having them surgically implanted with radio transmitters.
All right, yeah.
So that we could track movements and find breeding grounds and hopefully save them.
Mhm.
They were like an endangered species, and it was crazy expensive to get these radio transmitters put in them for a lot of the same reasons. The anesthesia is very difficult, especially because they're cold-blooded. So
Yeah.
like, there's a risk, and it's very difficult to monitor, and you don't want to you don't want them to wake up mid-surgery, but you also don't want to give them so much that they don't wake up again, and it's just
Yeah.
I know, and like, and this was years ago, and it was so expensive, so I can't even imagine like.
Yeah.
$1,000. Yeah. Crazy.
Yep.
Crazy. The
And like
things we do for our
especially
pets.
including that when we had to take them in for surgery, it was after hours. We didn't discover that she'd chewed her stitches until after the vet had already closed.
Oh,
So we're in like call out hours. So we had to have them done surgery in double time instead of in regular vet hours.
It's good that
Yeah.
they even do call outs, though. Our vet
Mm.
won't do them.
Yeah,
If
well, they
your
don't. It's,
animal gets
we're
hit
too far
outside of
away. We're too far away for them to call out to me. But like, if we take a pet to them out of hours, they'll handle it.
That's good. None of the vets here in town will do that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. If something happens to my dog on an evening, he has to
Hmm.
wait till the next morning to see a vet.
Ouch. That's,
My
yeah, that's not good.
yeah, yeah. My brother-in-law's family dog was hit by a car, and I
Oh
had to wait
no.
till the
Oh, I'm
next
sorry.
morning to get him. He's okay,
Hmm.
Barkley. Yeah, I know. But yeah, they had to wait till the next morning to like get him seen, which was like, I mean, painful for the poor guy, but
Yeah, poor thing.
the joy of small town living.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
Well, even here in like the GTA, like I think we only have like 1 or 2 emergency vets within 50 kilometers,
Oh, really?
Oh wow.
and
When I was in
that's
Nova Scotia,
emergency.
there was one
Hmm.
that was like, just anytime you needed them, you could call. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they're great, but it's just there's
limited,
only so
yeah.
many of them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the good thing about our vets. They're specialist vets. They handle their area has a lot of like zoos and like animal conservancies around them. So they handle all sorts of things. Like that, they'll get called out to deal with a fucking tiger. Like one day I was sat in reception, and they brought in, what was it they brought in? It was wrapped up in like fabric. They'd all in plastic. They'd already sedated it to bring it in. And I think it was from one of the bird conservancies. Like they brought in a fucking hawk to be looked
Oh,
at.
that's so cool.
You know that they deal with anything.
That's really
And
neat.
yeah,
That's cool. Yeah,
yeah,
there
and
north of where I live, there is a conservancy.
mm,
Is that the word?
yeah,
But yeah, they do like rehabilitation for owls, hawks, birds of prey.
yeah,
Cool. Okay,
yeah,
so let's get back to the campaign.
yeah.
We are much as I could talk animals all day long. We are. You guys have just killed Ain and Odin, who were trying to steal from Sinkur. He is extremely grateful. Strogak is still a little bit confused as to what happened. And you are able to get back to sleep after the jitters wear off. You know, when
Yeah.
adrenaline's really high, you guys spend some time talking
Yeah.
yourselves down
I think,
and
yeah.
So,
I think if we show him the picture of Sincor and the fine dagger, I think he'll get the message. He'll understand what was going to happen.
yeah.
was
And sorry, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, was it obvious that Wei seemed uncomfortable about the dagger? Like, did he do that in front of everybody, Chang?
He certainly made a face,
Okay,
sort of
so-
like a bit of a wince.
So Adriel would have said, "Do you know this dagger?"
This particular one, no. I know of it.
You seemed to make a face when you saw it.
Well, let's consider that my secret. Well then, night.
Okay.
Okay, that was odd.
Okay.
That told us exactly nothing, but sure.
Yeah, I don't push it anymore after
No.
that.
Yep, his own business. That's fine.
And I'll take a second to just explain to Strogak in Dwarvish what happened and what was going on, just so he I don't know. I assume he knows Common, but just to try and get him to understand what happened.
To Strogak, he speaks common.
Well, yeah, but like just in Dwarvish, just to
Oh, I see. Just to kind of like
make
make
it
sure it's not a
easier.
language barrier thing. He is he's very much a scholar in the sense that he's just a little bit naive to the the workings of the world. He understands the theory that like people rob and steal and murder, but you just get the idea that he's just never encountered this in his life before. Which he's an old dwarf. You're kind of surprised, but he seems to be fairly, um, just a little bit naive. Is maybe the best way of putting it.
Okay.
He as you kind of explain to him what was happening, he doesn't catch all the nuances until you explain it to him. Like he doesn't really understand what the dagger and the picture meant. But as you kind of like explain things, he's like, oh, okay, and starts to see it. And he seems like surprised and shocked and you know, all of the things that any decent person would be when they find out that, you know, two people that they were traveling with just tried to murder another person they were traveling with. So he's a little shaken, but he handles it fairly well, and he thanks you for taking the time to sort of explain.
Yeah,
to him
just
what was
sort
happening.
of draw it out and
Yeah.
I think also before we go back to sleep, Lunara will kind of get Quoth back to her, and kind of slightly loudly for everyone else's appearance, for everyone else's hearing, say, "Okay, now Quoth, now that that limerick that you repeated, forget that now, please. Okay, okay, forget it, please. Thank you. There's a good
Quoth
boy."
says, no more Nantucket.
No more man from Nantucket. Good boy.
And yeah, so you guys can go ahead and long rest your characters. You manage to finally get some rest, and you do get a full night's rest. Probably waking up a little bit later than you had planned in the morning, what with all the excitement that happened in the middle of the night, but not so bad. And you get yourselves ready to travel on the next morning. This is the part of the journey. So actually, let's start with the morning. So Adriel, go ahead and roll us our morning survival check, please.
15.
Okay. So you make pretty good time. You're still following the road, and you have no difficulties traveling this morning. And you reach a point where it is time for you to head off into the desert away from the road. You've come to the part where the road is going east-west and you are now going south, kind of idea. So you're gonna put the studded leather armor on, okay? So you take got it. You take you say your farewells basically to Sinkur, who is now traveling by himself, which isn't what he had planned. He had been hoping to travel with Ain and Odin so that he would have some more security, but all things considered, it's probably safer without them.
I see.
Yeah, considering they could have just waited one more day and had him on his own, that's kind of dumb of them.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what the argument was about that you were overhearing.
Oh, I see. Right.
Yeah. So Sinkur is heading off, and he so you basically you take your midday rest and say your farewells to Sinkur, and then he will head off by himself while you guys continue on in the desert. So, is there anything that you want to do in this rest before you strike out?
No, not that I could think of.
Yeah, no, nothing I can think of.
Okay.
Obviously wishing him a
Syncor,
safe journey, but
yeah, he thanks you all so much for your assistance. And he says, you know, I do travel this route fairly often, so I'm quite confident of my abilities.
I would just like to ask him if he's got any particular needs as far as jobs go, and just see if, like, after this we can continue working together.
Yeah, he says to you, I'm always I'm always open to new friends, and I always have some small tasks that I could use assistance with. So once we, if you return to town, I spend much of my time there. Please look me up. I would love to continue our acquaintance. I think it could be quite profitable.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Have a safe trip.
You as well. To be honest, I'm more concerned about the group of you. This is you're leaving the road, and that is a dangerous thing to do. Please be careful, and remember that the desert holds many secrets, and not all of them should be uncovered.
Intriguing. I'll keep that in mind.
And with that, you guys head off into like the real wilderness. I mean, you've been traveling in the desert for this is day 5 now, but now you're going. Is it day 5 or is it day
4,
6?
isn't it? I think it's day 4.
Oh, sorry. Yes, day
yeah,
3 night. Sorry, I wrote day 4 instead of day 3.
Yeah,
Yes,
this is day 4. Yeah.
Yes, and that matches up with my. I was like, why is this matching up with my notes? But now
We got
it
there.
helps if you type things correctly. Yeah. So day 4 afternoon, you set off and you travel into the deep desert. Sincor heads away on his camel. Are you taking the 2 camels from Ain and Odin, or are you asking Sincor to take them?
I would take one.
Okay.
Yeah, we can maybe give one to Sincor just as a and take one for us.
So Willem, you already have one, right?
Yep. So I would attach like a.
Okay, I see. You're gonna take the other one and like lead it.
Yeah, and then just have
Okay.
it be like a pack animal kind of thing.
Okay. And no one else wants the other one? You're happy with Sincor taking it?
Maybe we should take it. I don't know,
Okay.
because we are. Well, I guess we have a backup if William has it. Okay, because I was thinking if our camel died or something happened to our camel, which it shouldn't happen anyway. So never mind.
There's
Yeah.
also one being There's also one pulling the wagon.
Yeah, the
right?
one pulling, because if something, I was wondering if something happened to that one, our wagon would be stuck. But we have Willems as a backup.
You have
so,
Willems, and Willem
yeah.
is leading one as
Oh,
well.
I'm
So there's
excuse me.
3
Yeah,
camels
yeah.
with you.
So yeah, that's what.
Yeah, so yeah, we can give it to him. I think I would agree to that,
Okay.
unless somebody else has a different opinion.
No, I'm happy to.
Okay.
That way, he has a backup, and he can be safe.
Sorry, I'm just writing a quick note here.
Oh, but what if they both run off? Fuck.
Okay, so you begin your travels south.
Mhm.
It is a different beast traveling off the road from traveling on it, and we've talked about this a little bit as you guys have wandered off the path slightly. It is really sandy. It's hard. You struggle with the wagon. There's no hard packed sand here, so you actually switch out the wheels for skis,
Mm-hmm.
so that it's a little bit more easily maneuvered. And you just do your best. It is slow going. You travel much more slowly now than you were before, and it's quite tiring. Also, you're not sure when your next source of water is going to be, because on the road you knew where the oases, thank you. You knew where the oases were, but here this is fairly unknown territory. Thankfully, you do have Adriel with you, and Adriel, you would be aware of some of the more common spots to get water in the desert. Your people are nomadic, and so you would have traveled through this region at different points in your life. Um, but you're also headed towards an area where your people don't go so much. Um, Probably because it's really barren and hopeless and a terrible place to go. And why are you guys doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we are going to fast forward through a few days of travel here. I don't
Okay.
want to make this whole campaign about traveling in the desert. That's not we're not even at the beginning of the book at this point. um, so what I want to do is I want to do like a little journey narration, but I'm going to ask you guys to sort of fill in some of the gaps for me with what your characters would be doing. So what I'm going to ask you to do is come up with something that happens along the way. It can be something that happens to the group. It can be something that happens to your character in general. Um, you're welcome to like take the DM reins at this point. There is nothing off the table. Just give us an interesting story, and let's sort of create this little travel montage together. So I will begin, and I'm going to say that the first day when you set off, and you've got like 5 or 6 days to play with here, so it doesn't all have to happen on the first day. The first day that you guys set off, um, you have a long, uh, slow going travel, and it kind of begins to set in for you how much more difficult this is going to be than the travel you've previously done. It also is beginning to set in a little bit that you don't really know what you are looking for. It is You're looking for a lost city that no one's found, and there's a reason it hasn't been found, right? Who knows if you're going to find it? Who knows how long you're going to be out here searching? You've only got so much water, you've only got so many rations, and it feels a little bit. It's exciting and a little bit scary. And the first night when you finally stop for the evening and you settle down, you're sore again. You've just been sort of getting over your travel stiffness, and you're getting you've been used to riding the camels and riding the wagon and all this kind of thing. You've been getting used to it. And now you find like, oh, this is even harder, and your whole body aches again at the end of the night, and you're tired. So that first meal, that first night is a quiet one. Everyone's just tired. You all probably go to bed fairly early. Um, but you that night, as the once the sun has set, it's starting to get cold. You see these bugs that come out of the ground, um, and they're just tiny. Um, but they have these like bright red glowing abdomens, and they just sort of like light up this region of the desert, and it's really lovely. It's just like a really pretty exotic thing to see, and so you go to sleep with sort of these strange bugs dancing in your eyes and in your memories, and it's something that you will hold with you for probably your whole life.
Oh.
And that is your first day in the desert, or your first day in the desert proper. Who
Hmm.
would like to go next? I will pick someone if they're
All right, I'll go next.
Okay, Jake.
Who kept the dagger again?
I did. Adriel.
He's gonna. Night after that, he's gonna go up to Adriel at night and just ask if he can hold on to the dagger just for a little while.
Yeah, so he sees like he feels like there's obviously a reason you need it, so he says, "Of course, here," and he hands it to you.
And I'm just gonna go a little bit just out of way since I don't want to be in earshot of the camp, and I'm just gonna sit down and towards the darkness, assuming there's a fire. I'm just gonna contemplate. Because Kirsty, you said it's like a sort of it's an assassin's dagger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So so with Way's backstory, he might be a little acquainted with a tool like that. So he's just gonna take a little bit of time and just think about everything, his life and all that. Obviously, he doesn't speak or anything, but he does hold on. If anybody would look at him, you could see his hand is sort of like holding on to something around his neck. It's like a little neck, sort of like a necklace or something.
Yeah, I definitely would be watching because I'm curious of why you
Just-
needed it.
I was just staring at the weapon, staring out, just deep in thought. And at the end of the night, he would just return it. And say, thank you. All that stuff. And I just want to say he probably might do that for another 3 nights.
Just take it
Straight.
and meditate with it, and
What?
I said just take it and sort of meditate with it on an
Yeah.
evening.
And I would ask, are you sure you don't want it? Perhaps it belongs to you.
No. Well, this little thing might have belonged to me in my past life, but no, not anymore.
Well, it is
Thank
here
you.
if you need it.
Heavy sigh, and just off to bed then.
All right, lovely. Adriel, it seems sort of sensible to move on to you next. What tell us something that happens to or with or around Adriel?
I guess Adriel, he would put on a little lightning show for people at night. He would like walk off into the distance, and you would just see him kind of rise up off the ground using his bonus action to do his wind thing. And lightning would kind of spark off of him for a second, and then he would just come back down. And then, he would come back to the group.
Oh, that's kind of fun. Awesome. I think Stogak would really enjoy that.
And he would, if anyone questioned him, he would just say he's looking for signs
Awesome.
or omens.
Omens. What about Lunara?
I'm really not sure. Lenara will mostly, like most of her time, she's just reading through. Like she's got a book with her, from the library, about the city, and she's just reading through. And there's probably a couple of times where, if you're like my parent-in-laws are awful for this. If you're sat over their house and my father-in-law is reading a paper, he kind of half reads it to you as he's doing it. Lunara probably does that a couple of times and kind of gets you guys annoyed with her, and like, oh, did you know the such and such and such and such, and you're all kind of, here we go again. Here we go again. Fuck's sake, girl, shush. I'm not sure what else to kind of say, but that's kind of how I picture her on this journey. She's like, you kind of want to text message her with unsubscribe Lost City facts, but she has no understand of the word unsubscribe.
Awesome. I think Stogak probably quite enjoys it and probably encourages it, which maybe doesn't help the rest of the party at all.
Well,
And what about...
I was
Sorry,
going
go
to say,
ahead,
Adrian
Adrian.
would ask Lunara, what does it say about the curses?
I would definitely check, try and spend some time investigating that, seeing what we can expect.
Sure. Go
makes
ahead and
sense.
give me an investigation roll. You can have advantage because you got a book.
Yay. Always have advantage when you have a book. Investigation. 21.
Okay. So the cause of the curse is unclear. And some scholars believe that there is no curse, that it was just. And we kind of talked a little bit about this last time. It was just a bunch of things that happened all at once that led to the downfall of this particular civilization. However, that being said, that could be caused by a curse. whatever it was happened fast, and it happened. It was devastating. It caused the city to have no water. It caused just basically the city just seemed to shut down within like possibly even a couple of years from what you can see. There's also talk, and it starts to get a bit outlandish, talk of like rampaging creatures throughout the land, and just no one knows what they were, but they came and they just destroyed homes and knocked down walls, and just all kinds of really really far-fetched sort of scenarios for what happened. There's also talk of a mage who aided in the situation in some way, but in fact made matters worse, and caused even more creatures to rampage throughout the land. And these creatures were the cause of the destruction.
Okay. Lunara doesn't massively like she doesn't ascribe to the curse theory of it all, so she kind of she reads what she finds with a very slightly scathing tone in her voice.
Makes sense.
But yeah, she relays what she finds.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay, and Willem.
So Willem's, I assume his belt on his clothing or armor would have hooks for certain things, so he can have easy access.
Yeah, absolutely. Your character, your decision.
And he's going to make 2 pythons to hold the small the hand crossbow, and quiver. Well, using some of the hempen rope, he's going to wrap around the bolts so that he has it right there, and it's going to be loaded the whole time.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so he's got his crossbow loaded and ready to go, and he's got some other arrows set up for easy access. Yeah. Give me a let's call it a, what would we call that? Maybe a dexterity check.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, you do a really good job of it. It not only it's not only quite effective, but it looks well crafted as well. You're not just like, it's not just a bit of string dangling with an arrow at the end of it. You do a really nice job of it, and you think it's gonna work quite well for your situation.
Awesome.
Is there anything else anyone wants to declare, say, do, have happen while you guys travel?
How many days of this has gone by?
So we're going for about 6-ish.
All right. You'd also notice that Adriel, while you're traveling, he kind of puts his hand out and lifts up some sand with a mage hand. And then he like watches the way it blows, and you'll see him kind of take that direction.
He doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
No, that's how he gets around. Like he uses omens.
I think at
and
some
signs.
point Lunara would like copy that, to like mage hand, pick up some sand, watch it go, and be like, okay, now what? Huh? We're all gonna die.
You must believe in fate.
I have a hard time with that.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that.
So yeah, that happens.
Oh my god, I had to mute myself. I was laughing so hard. Go ahead, everybody, and please give yourselves inspiration for some lovely character development there.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you.
And I'm going to take the reins on we'll call it day 6. Or the 6th day since day, the 6th day
So,
since day 4.
We started on day 4, so that would have ended day 9.
Yes, so this will be day 10.
Day 10, okay. Day 10.
Okay. So, day 10. You guys are traveling. You are sort of headed to where you want to. The place that Strogak thinks is where the Lost City is most likely to be. That's your first stop. He's got a couple of different locations, and Lunar, you would have sort of gone over all this with him. And so you've got a few places that you think it could possibly be. The place that you are currently going to is the place that you think is the most likely, and then you'll strike out from there. It's all within the same sort of region, but this is kind of like your best guess as to the best spot based on your
How many candidates did we have? Sorry.
You've
candidates?
probably got like 3 different places that you think are likely,
Okay.
and then maybe like one more that's kind of like a shot in the dark. But if you don't find it at the other 3 places, you might be tempted to go to the other one.
Okay.
And let's get Adriel. I'm going to need a survival check from you, please.
Okay.
Here we go.
I'm great at these. 13.
Okay. Here's the good news. You see the sandstorm approaching.
Oh, wow,
That's good.
That's the fucking phrase.
That's the good news. That's the good
I know. There's a sandstorm approaching.
General.
So you've got
Context.
out of context. Here's the yeah, so you see it coming. And you have a little bit of time to prepare. So go ahead and prepare. Tell me what you do.
I mean, I feel like I would know what to do. So I do what I know what to do. I guess I would, tie down the camels to the wagon and
Cover everything we can.
cover it and close it up so we're protected inside.
Mm.
I feel like camels would just like lay down and go through it like they do in the wild.
Okay, so you see this approaching. You know you've got a little bit of time. Like I said, you've seen it coming, and you start to batten down the hatches, basically, to use a nautical term in a desert. There's a you start to sort of tie down everything on the wagon. You are aware that sandstorms are a possibility in the desert, obviously. So, and we've talked before, you've got tarps and ropes and all that kind of stuff. So you are able to start to tie everything down. You sort of make sure that the camels are tied, but they've got enough room to maneuver as well, so that if they need to, wherever they feel is best for them, they can go and lie down and do the things. Anything else you guys want to do?
I do a prayer.
I think by now, Willem would start to get a feel for what he's been watching everyone else do who's familiar with the desert. So, like, sort of push out like a trench almost, and then put like a barrier so that we don't get too swamped. I don't know.
Okay.
Like one of the things I was thinking is like put a tarp over the top of the wagon just to like give that a double layer of security, and then we can just stay inside the wagon.
Well, yeah, but then like put like a bunker almost around the front of the carriage.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can work on that. I can mage hand assist.
Okay. So you start to put up some barriers. You've got some crates and things that you can use to sort of help block the sand as it it's going to come in, and that way you can hopefully the wagon won't be quite as buried. You also get the tarps tied down and get yourselves ready to go here. Let's get who's tying down the tarps? Who's taking on that job?
Way will help with that.
Yeah, I'll assist.
Okay, so Wei, why don't you give me a let's call it an what is it for tying ropes? It's
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand,
generally,
yeah.
sleight
isn't
of
it?
hand. That's right.
Yeah.
Let's get a sleight of hand check, please, to see how well you're able to tie down these tarps.
Okay. 22.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so you make some really good sturdy knots. You find some weak points in the tarp, and you make sure that you secure it from some of the stronger points. And you're pretty happy with the job that you get done, even though it's in a bit of a rush because obviously the sandstorm is approaching quickly. You managed to get that tied down quite satisfactorily. So Lunara and Willem, you guys are sort of digging this trench and putting some crates up to kind of act as a barrier. Is that what I'm understanding you guys are doing?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, like just kind of building like a wall of sand, which doesn't really make sense because it's a sandstorm. But
Anything to
I've
just
been
try and
here a
block
week.
them?
I've been here like 2 weeks.
Okay, give me. Let's get a strength check.
Oh,
From
no.
one of you with advantage to see how this sort of digging and piling up goes.
I am not the strong. I will be using Mage Hand to do my half of
So you'll
half
be-
of any.
Once,
You'll be giving advantage then. So Willem.
Yeah, I
Yes.
will be giving the
you-
advantage.
we'll
I'm
get
I'm minus
strength
one
check from me.
strength, so probably not. me.
Same.
one fistful of sand at a
good.
time.
Oh, lovely.
But at least you have advantage.
I love this.
Just realized we have no strength characters.
We have
I
no
know.
strength, guys. Nope. No
Hey.
strength, no direct healing.
Um,
17.
So you get the adrenaline gives you a little bit of a push, and you and Lunar are able to sort of like pile up the sand. You get like a bit of a barrier going. Strogak is dragging out some of their like heavier crates to kind of use to help make that barrier so that everything isn't just hitting the wagon directly. And it's you've done a pretty good job in the time that you have. You'd like another hour, but that isn't gonna happen. What is Adriel doing?
Well, he would have been the one tying down the camels to the wagon, and yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So you tie the camels down to the wagon. Let's get same thing. Let's get a sleight of hand check from you, please.
Oh boy. We're gonna lose those camels.
I would also
And
like,
there goes all the camels.
I would also like an animal handling check from you, please.
Okay.
It's making Sebastian roll.
Oh, no.
Okay, so the camels are panicking a little bit. They're seeing the sandstorm coming, and really lying down is less what they would like to do than just run away from it. And so they're panic a little bit. Their eyes are wide. They've got like that whale eye thing going, and you're trying to tie them to the back of the wagon, but they're pulling on their leads, and it's hard to sort of. I know I've tried to like tie up a horse who doesn't want to be tied up before, and it's going one way, and you're trying to like just get enough rope that you can actually tie it to something, and you just it's a little bit tricky. So you're not thrilled with your knots, but you're not thrilled with your knots, but you don't have much time before the sandstorm hits. It comes whirling out towards all of you, and it sounds like like a truck, like it's just like you hear this massive noise, the sand begins to swirl, you grab items of your clothing and pull it up over your face and eyes, and you all dive inside of the cart. You think about your friend Sinkur out in the desert all alone, and you hope against hope that perhaps he is far enough away that he hasn't been caught in this, because he didn't have a wagon to tie himself down to. And basically you have to wait it out. It is horrendous. You can barely breathe. The sand somehow gets in every little crack. Much like mice are designed to go through holes and rats, the sand is even smaller, and it is just swirling around everywhere. The wagon is taking an absolute beating. It's rocking back and forth in this sandstorm. Thankfully, that barrier that you helped build is at least stopping some of the wind, and so the wagon hasn't yet fallen on its side. I am rolling checks for the wagon, and I'm rolling with advantage thanks to your thanks to that barrier. So it's managing to stay upright, but it's rocking back and forth. It is quite scary. I need everyone to make me Constitution saving throws, please.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Okay, not bad.
Hey, nice guys. This is where
Yeah.
you want the rolls to be good. Oh, I should have rolled
Yeah.
for stock back as well. Oh dear.
He's gonna get blown away.
So you're inside, you're managing by keeping like your clothing over your mouths, you're able to breathe, but you hear Strogak start to cough, and he pulls his clothing down to sort of like take in a deep breath, and as he coughs, but obviously that just makes it worse, and he's coughing, and he's trying to breathe, and he's starting to like hyperventilate a bit, as he's just got his hand just trying to cover his face, just trying to protect it.
Lunara will try and like calm him down and like pat him on the back to try and help him dislodge whatever it is he's trying to get rid of. Try and like shield him so he can breathe a little easier.
Okay. All right. So I will give him advantage on his next check thanks to that, Lunara. And everyone go ahead and make me a second Constitution saving throw as the wind continues to buffet the wagon.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
My
no.
attempts to look after him are not helping me.
Oh wait, I just did a Constitution. How do I do saving throws again?
Second column.
But what is
Oh, yeah.
my second column?
So your save, you rolled a 9. Was your Constitution?
Oh, +4.
+4, and it
So
only
about
rolled
an
a
11.
+2, so that brings it up to 11.
11,
Okay, so that's
yeah.
enough. So Adriel and Willem, you guys are okay. Lunara and Wei, you guys, Lunara, you're trying to pat him on the back, and your cloth slips down from over your face, and you start coughing also. Wei, you I don't know, maybe your clothing is a little bit too loosely woven, and some of it is coming at you, and you start to cough. You're finding it very difficult to breathe. Your attempts do help Strogak Lunara. He manages to sort of like pull himself together a bit. He's doing a bit better. Everyone who failed is going to take 3 points of
Oh, boy.
damage.
Ow.
Yeah.
The sand is scratching at your eyes. It's in your chest. It is extremely uncomfortable, and you just wait. It's awful. There's nothing you can do but just try and live through this as the winds continue to howl around you. One more round of Constitution saves, please.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Do not worry. It will pass soon, I tell everyone.
Adriel's the only one who can talk. Lunara, you can't shake it. And it's in your eyes, it's in your hair, it's in your mouth. You're going to take another 3 points of damage. Everyone else is doing okay. You're able to at least sort of stop the worst of it, and it is at this time that the winds finally start to calm down. The storm probably only lasted. It sort of passed quickly. It maybe lasted a minute, but it felt like a year. And everything slowly calms down, and you guys are able to start to breathe again normally. When you peek outside of the wagon, you you find that 2 of your camels have disappeared.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
There is one that is still tied to the back. The other 2 are gone.
Oh man.
And the wagon itself is absolutely buried in sand. It's probably going to take you a good couple of hours to dig your way out. Fortunately, you do have shovels with you.
Travels and yeah.
Yeah. So it is something that is doable, but it will just take a little bit of time. What do you guys want to do?
As soon as like everything calms down a bit, Lunara's just going to take her water skin and just like cover her face in water and like put it in her mouth and like rinse her mouth out and just spit it outside, and then go to work.
Yeah, you managed to like get the worst of it out of your eyes. It still kind of like hurts to blink a bit, and your chest feels a bit better anyway. But it's and you start. Are you so when you say get to work, you can start digging?
I guess, yeah, start working with the team. The first thing I am going to do, though, is I'm going to send Quoth out to try and find the try and see if he can get an eye on the camels that ran.
Camels. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Lunar's doing that. What about Willem? What are you doing? Are you muted?
Adam.
Yeah, sorry. I would have had based on my roles, I would have had like that face mask up and then the hood down. So I feel like I'm pretty okay.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the sand goes. I'm gonna start trying to dig, or at least move stuff and try and get everything packed back up.
Okay, sounds good. Adriel.
Well, I was trying to see if prestidigitation would help with my puffs of wind, but I don't think that's going to be enough. So I guess I'll start digging.
Yeah, you know what? Probably for some of it, your puffs of wind would actually be kind of useful in moving the sand. I mean, it was put here by wind, right?
Yeah.
So, the bigger areas of sand, you're absolutely going to need to move with a shovel. But just getting it off of things to clear a space, your wind would be really good for that.
Yes, I'll be doing it like Avatar style.
And what about Wei?
He's gonna emerge, hacking up a lung. He's gonna hock a couple of loogies to the ground. Just, I'm starting to not like this place anymore.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you on that.
As I'm trying to, like put my hand inside my mouth to try to like scrape some of the sand off from out of my teeth.
I heard someone say it's coarse and it gets everywhere, and I understand what they're talking about now.
Yeah, after clearing out as much sand as I can, I'll take a swig of water too, just like spit it out, try to get everything out, and my eyes too, since I was buffeted along with Lunara.
Okay.
After that, I'll start shoveling.
Start shoveling. Okay, and I think Stargak is sort of gonna follow your lead there. He also cleans himself up a bit with a little bit of water, trying not to use too much, and then sort of helps with the moving of things, shifting the sand around, pulling out shovels, and just trying to generally clean things up. He looks a little shaken, but he's okay. And let's get a perception check from Quoth.
Okay. Hopefully he can do okay with this. Passive 13. Perception 19. Yay, good boy.
Nice.
That's my boy.
Roll me a d2. Let's see how many camels he finds.
Come on, hi. Okay, we got one of them.
One. Okay, so the camels must have run off in separate directions, but Quoth is able to find one of them, and it's not too far away. It seems to have sort of run off and found a place to sort of lie down, stick himself in the sand. And when Quoth sees him, he seems to be uninjured. He sort of shakes himself off. There's a little bit of, it looks like he's taken a little bit of a beating from the sand, but he is in remarkably good condition, all things considered. And he's not too far away, so it's not much trouble for you to go head out there and retrieve him and bring him back.
Yeah, I think Lunara will head out and bring him back, and then
Absolutely.
send Quoth out to see if he can find the other one. Obviously, I've already rolled for it, so if he can't, he can't. But she wouldn't know that, so he's just
right.
gonna go
Yeah.
off.
So he has a search and isn't able to locate the other camel. It's possible that that camel just started to run and didn't stop. They've got a pretty decent movement speed over the sand.
Yeah.
So the good news
Just
is it's
what
a
we had
camel.
next one.
He's they're designed for desert, so he's off somewhere. And you've managed to recover one of them. So you've got your spare should anything happen, and you need another one to pull the wagon. That is sort of the bad news. The bad part of the good news is, you guys come out the other side of that fairly intact, all things considered. That could have gone much worse for you.
Yeah.
So you haven't lost any of your gear. Nothing seems to be damaged thanks to the way that the tarps were tied down, and the wagon didn't fall over, causing any damage thanks to the sort of wall that you made. You were able. I mean, all in all, you've only lost one camel. That was a pretty good showing for your first sandstorm.
Yeah.
First sandstorm.
Oh boy. Okay.
You've made it through, and that is kind of your worst case scenario. So feeling a little bit more confident. It takes a couple of hours to dig yourselves out, but you know now how to sort of handle this kind of situation, and you manage to move on with your day. You do notice that the sandstorm seems to have revealed something off in the distance, and this is something that Quoth would notice as he's out hunting for the other camel. Quoth sees what looks like stones sticking up out of the ground. And more importantly, these stones that are sticking up out of the ground seem to be shaped in square patterns, almost like the ruins of a lost city.
Interesting.
The gods work in mysterious ways.
Prologue over. Chapter 1.
Over chapter 1, exactly.
and this is where it like rolls up to the title drop on the screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Lord of the Rings one.
See this map? I don't have.
Yes, looks great.
Okay.
Do we really need dynamic lighting? It is high noon. We are.
No, that's why I didn't put it on this map. I just wanted I turned it on the other one accidentally, so I want to make sure I didn't have it on this one. So this is I realize it's a battle map. It's not exactly like this. It's really hard to find ruined desert maps. But this is kind of the general gist of what you're saying, seeing. No palm trees, because no water. So please imagine that those are not there. But you do see columns and walls and things sticking out of the ground. And this is what the Raven Quoth has seen and reports back. So once you dig yourselves out, naturally you're going to head in the direction of the thing that you're looking for. So you find this place. Strogak is beside himself.
As is Lunara. Lunara's like a kid on Christmas.
It's phenomenal, and really you yesterday you might have walked over it. And it's just pieces that have been revealed thanks to this massive storm that blew up. And there is one other thing of note that you see here, and I think I need to actually open the book to read to you what you see. So just bear with me for a moment. I should have had this up already.
Now, would Lunara and what was his name? Would they be
Starkeye.
talking about what they're seeing? And could I listen in?
Yeah,
I
pretty definitely.
I think
If
Strogak
you've
would
ever
be...
heard, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Lunar.
Right, I was going to say, if you've ever heard super excited nerds, like
We all play D&D. We've all heard super
yeah,
excited
exactly.
nerds.
You know, the film that they've been hyperfixated, or the franchise they've been hyperfixated on for their entire life, is getting a movie, and they get to see like a teaser trailer for 30 seconds. That's the kind of hyped chatter they're having between the two of them.
Yeah.
Okay, you could just
Alright, well,
speak.
I'll-
Well,
I'll-
I mean, that really looks like it's the North, blah 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 quarter. It's and so on and so on and so on and so on and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
I'm
like,
just trying
things
to
like,
listen to everything I can possibly listen to.
there's a lot of talk about like, oh, they did use this type of building material, and it looks like this, and it was here. It's not surprising. It makes sense compared to, you know, like Strogak is just like, and he is talking to everyone about it. Every time he finds something, he finds like a little piece of rock, and he practically like dives on it and holds it up like it's a gem, which to him it is.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, look at the crafting. You can see that this one doesn't have any tool markings on it. Maybe it was created by magic, or maybe it was just the tool markings are moved away by the sand. I don't know, but look at it. And he's just like I said, beside himself.
Okay.
So, you are seeing a number of stone blocks that are sticking out of the sand dunes. You see the remains of a tall stone wall, and as you're walking, the first thing that you encounter is the remains of what seems to be an old wall, presumably a city wall. It looks like it was probably once tall, and then on the other side of the stone wall, you see the remains of the city. There is very little left. I want to be very clear about that. When I'm talking ruins, probably even less than what you're seeing on your map here. Just bits and pieces of walls. There's nothing standing higher than like a foot, for the most part. Everything has sort of crumbled and cracked. Sand has covered many of the buildings, and everything has just been scoured by centuries of sand and blowing wind sands. You know what I mean. In the center of the city, and the city is not huge. This is a very old city, so you know the size of it is not like modern cities, even in D&D terms. So it was a large city for its time, but in your modern perspectives, it's not huge. But in the very center of the city, you see a step pyramid. And on the top of the pyramid, there are 3 statues that are still standing. And Lunara, you know that this pyramid was constructed. You're also aware that it's one of the last major constructions that happened in the city before the fall of the city. And it is just, it's so thrilling to see.
Yeah.
The 3 statues are there's on the left, there is a strong bearded man that is holding a balance in one hand and a lightning bolt in the other. And I have to say, Adria, when you see that statue with that lightning bolt,
Yeah, my eyes
that's
light
an
up.
omen.
Definitely.
The middle statue is a winged child with 2 snakes twined about its body. In one hand, the child holds a wand, and a handful of coins is held in the other. And the statue on the right is of a beautiful woman, and in her hand she holds a sheaf of wheat and a sword. And you, Lunara, would recognize this as being the three gods that
Right.
were worshipped by the Syncadians.
Sorry,
Gorm,
can I take the list of them again? Sorry, so it's,
yes,
man with a lightning motif, Gorm,
I will.
woman.
The
Oh
woman,
yeah, actually, if you could post them.
yeah, I'll put them in chat. That way, it might be
Yeah, please.
a little bit easier.
I'm a fast typer, but I can't quite transcribe.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's also a lot to. Okay, so that's. Ignore the past tense. That's just the way that
Yeah.
particular thing is written. So the man is Gorm, and Gorm is known to be the god of war, storms, and justice.
Okay.
The child is, and I'll put this one in chat for you because it's a beast of a name. Usamigaris.
Oh, that's easy for you to say.
No, it was not. And Usamigaris is a god of healing, messengers, and thieves. And the female is the god known as Medarua.
Okay.
And she is the goddess of birth, death, and the changing of seasons.
Mhm.
And those were the three gods that were worshipped throughout the city and throughout the kingdom of Syncadia. And these statues, they seem to be made of like bronze or some substance like that. They are made of metal. And they are still there. They're still visible, and you can still see the pyramid. The pyramid is large. It has multiple tiers to it. It's a step pyramid. Think like Aztec style as opposed
Yeah.
to Egyptian style, with stairs that go up to it. What's the really famous one in Mexico? It looks much like that.
Yeah, I know which one you mean. I can't think of the name of it.
Machu Picchu.
Ziggurats, right?
Yeah, it's a ziggurat. Yes.
Sorry, what was
Chichen
Gorm's?
Itza?
Oh
Yeah,
no, that's the one.
that's
That's
the
the one. Yeah,
That's the
Machu
one.
Picchu is the one in the jungle up the mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, Machu Picchu's in Peru, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mistake.
What were their domains again? Sorry. Gorm is.
Gorm is the
Lightning
the
god.
man.
Yeah. So
Usamigaris.
just deity of lightning. I was asking what their domains in their
sorry.
pantheon is.
Yes. So he is the god of. Hang on. I'll also put these in chat for you.
Thank you.
So full of like joy, he slips out of his mouth and he says, "It is me."
It me.
And then he kind of catches himself.
Samagaras, healing, messengers, thieves. Okay.
There we go.
Birth, death, changing seasons. Okay.
And yeah, this pyramid stretches upwards, and it is still standing. It's the one building that is not just a complete and utter ruin. And I think that this is where we are going to save game.
Yay.
Okay.
So we will pick up next week with you guys. Oh no, we're not playing next week.
No.
I'm traveling. So we will be playing again on the 4th. And we will pick up with you guys exploring the Lost City.
Yeah.
You have also leveled up. Congratulations.
Oh,
you
yay.
have
Woohoo!
Yay! Finally.
I'm gonna move the first 3 levels
damn.
fairly quickly because no one likes being.
No, low level is
super low
miserable.
level. Yeah,
Yeah.
so we'll probably spend only 1 or 2 sessions at 2 before we level up to 3, and then we'll start like a little bit of a slower progression after that. But yeah. So yeah, go ahead, level yourselves up to level 2 in the meantime, and yeah, we'll pick up in 2 weeks' time with the Lost City.
Do we have
Awesome.
time to like short rest so I can not be at 3 hit points?
Yeah, actually, go
between
ahead
now and
and long rest.
Okay.
We'll say that there was some time for that to happen.
Okay.
And that way. Oh, and I can change the to-do list. Search the Lost City. I can change it
Yay.
to explore.
Found it. We've done it. We've beaten the campaign. The objective was to find it. That's it. GG.
Finally have my key points as well. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can
things
now
start-
bonus action things.
Yeah.
Hooray!
5 plus con bonus, so 6 extra hit points puts me up to 15.
Oh yeah, you've got to do all yours manually because it's a homebrew. That's the one thing that sucks about homebrews. You got to like type it on yourself.
It's
well,
not.
you could use the character. Well, actually, no, because warlocks get stuff at that point.
Yeah.
At level
Yeah.
2.
Well, level 2 I don't get much. I just get invocations. Third spell known, which I'll pick in a minute, and 2 invocations. So I think, what do we pick for those? I'm definitely picking the agonizing blast. Like that's.
Oh yeah, no, that's a must.
I'll go for damage because we don't have any healing.
Mm.
Awesome. That was fun.
Yeah, that was really fun. Thank you, Kirsty. It's a great
You're welcome.
session.
Thank
Yes,
you
thank
for.
you.
I'm so enjoying this group. I'm so stoked.
Yeah,
it's
me too.
playing.
It's very fun.
ridiculous. I'm really glad we're hitting the book and we're gonna start. I can't. I want to talk to you guys about it, but I can't talk to you guys about it. But I'm really.
Okay, I think I know what I'm taking. I'm taking Eldritch Sight because
Ooh,
having detect magic at will is very her.
and very useful.
Very, very useful.
Yeah.
I have 50 feet of movement now per turn,
Nice.
so I'm gonna be zipping.
Yeah.
You zoomy.
And with mobile, I can just dip in and out without taking opportunity
Mm.
attacks.
Oh, that's cool. Eldritch Sight is done. Okay, last level of Warlock begins. Our next level up is All Sorcerer, all the way up.
All the way up. Next.
Yeah.
I never plan out my characters ahead of time, and I always wish I had.
Yeah. This is actually a character I've played before, so I'm kind of just following
Well,
exactly
you're
what
kind
I
of
did
following that
previously.
progression.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Well, I think I am all set here, so I'm gonna dip out. Thanks for the game. I will
Yeah,
see
thank
you
you.
in 2 weeks.
All right.
Yeah.
Have a
Two
good-
long, long
yeah.
weeks.
Have a good day, everyone.
Yep.
Holy cow.
Yeah, you as
everyone.
well.
Yeah, see it.
Bye.
Yeah, have a good day. Bye, guys.
So I hope you enjoyed the second session of our Saturday game. There is a third one that I'll try to post tomorrow before our live game. So join us tomorrow for the live version if you can at 11 a.m. EST time. All right. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.